Dungeons and Dragons.
And Junk Drawer. What's up, everyone?
Hi.
We came
Welcome
back.
back. Hello, hello. What's up?
Oh, and what's
we
that?
are back.
What's that?
What? Huh?
What?
Huh?
Huh?
Who?
Everyone?
What?
Huh?
Wait, Mike, did you not wear your shirt?
I don't have one. I put that in the chat earlier.
Oh, you did? I missed it. I was trying to
Yeah.
sleep.
That's
I'm a
okay.
sleepy
I
boy.
understand.
We love you, Mike.
I'm getting one. I'm gonna order it on Friday.
Fucking got him.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Dungeons and Dragons and Junk Drawer. We took last week off. A little R&R for everybody. Got everybody back on the same page. Reevaluated. As you can see, we are streaming right now, and it is 8:31. So,
On
you
the
know,
ball.
we are new men for this week only.
We
New
are
man,
men.
new glasses.
We are going to kick off our announcements tonight with Josh Dramamine Delgado.
Oh, because I don't get sick. What's up?
Yeah, you do.
So I got 3 announcements. First one, let's just get it out of the way. We all know what it is. Fuck you,
Donovan.
Donovan.
Yeah,
Shit.
very good. That's all right. Fuck you, Donovan, since 1996.
Yeah,
So,
bastard.
second, big shout out to my mom. My mom flew out here to Colorado. I just bought a house, and she's been painting pretty much nonstop since Saturday. So a big clap and a shout out to Lynn. Love
Hey,
you very
Lynn.
much.
Yeah.
Get it, Lynn. Welch.
And then the last one. Now, Justin, we all know you
Yes.
love Tapatio.
I do.
But do you ever find that sometimes you just don't want the hot sauce and you want some sort of crunchy delight?
I'm interested.
I knew you would be. Well, please, let me introduce Doritos X Tapatio.
Oh my stars. How is this not planned?
I want to die.
I want to die because I don't have those delicious treats right next to me.
Num num num.
I
Making-
have been just shotgunning Tapatio like a fool.
like Mike shotguns half and half.
God
Correct.
damn it. Hashtag not sponsored. Hashtag yet.
Oh, Tapatio
Up
Doritos.
next, we have the birthday boy himself, Carlos.
Oh, my day!
He's
Yee.
20. He's 26 years old today, guys. 26.
Oh, you're so sweet. And then some. I'm going to give my usual shout out to Random Encounter Productions. They're actually starting a new thing on Wednesdays, if you want to go check them out, where, Cody, our DM, goes over the monster manual from A through Z. So right now they're in the letter A's. I think he was like on like Aboleth or Aarakocra or something like that last time he left off. But yeah, you can check them out at Random Encounter Prod, Prod, on Twitch, or you can check them out on YouTube at Random Encounter Productions. And also check out the Redbubble account so you guys can get your own personal Junk Drawer shirts. So far we have 2 designs out. We have this one with all our 4 characters. And then we have the Property of Stoneward, which you can get on shirts, on stickers, on phone cases, all that jazz. And I'm currently still working on the next design. So check that out. It should be on a link somewhere, either on our Twitter or our Instagram or something. I should know where the hell these links are by now, but I don't. But yeah, check that out. I think that's it. That's all I got. Back to you, Pat.
Up next, we have the shooter of half and half, the greenest hair of all the green, the only guy not wearing a shirt. One of these things doesn't belong. It's not Mike Spillane, because he's here. What you got for us, buddy?
So just on the record, don't shoot half and half
Anymore.
Don't let him lie to you.
anymore.
Tonight.
Trying to quit.
After 6 p.m.
But yeah. Well, I mean, if I have it after 6 p.m., I turn into it's kind of like a Gremlins Mogwai situation. Anywho, enough of that. Follow us on Instagram at The Junk Drawer Show. I think we finally hit 100 followers, so that's cool. Back to
Sweet.
posting clips more regularly. because work has finally like given me a chance to calm down. And by that I mean I took pretty much all of this week off to refresh myself, even though I'm just kind of staycationing, but much needed. But I did want to go ahead and bring a little blast from the past to make at least half of you guys smile. So, hey guys, have you ever wished that when you had like a bad idea, you had something that you could go ahead and say, hey, maybe I shouldn't do that?
Constantly.
Always.
Well, I'd like to go ahead and introduce the Bad Idea Stupid Helmet.
Oh, the stupid helmet's back!
This was a gift that was literally made by Justin. It says on the inside, from Justin, right in there in silver Sharpie. This was something that he gave to me back in high school when I said, hey guys, what would it feel like if I stuck my head in the ceiling fan? And then he said, put this on first.
This is because it was my ceiling fan, and I didn't want you to, I didn't want a lawsuit at the house.
That's a lot of paperwork.
And I went back to my folks needed some help clearing out some of mine and my sister's old shit. So I went to visit, and my family found the stupid helmet. So I wanted to give it a shout out. Love you, Justin. Love you, Josh. This is from our high school days.
Oh my god!
So
I'll
bring it over. You can go ahead and have it.
I don't need it.
We all know you need it half and half.
God damn it! Back to you, Pat.
He needs to add two little things of like half and half on the side and straw that goes out of his mouth.
It's my only release.
Last
I
and
escaped.
certainly not least, the person to my front.
Oh,
Oh boy.
Sexy.
You know what that's about.
he's not wearing pants.
Dice Daddy.
What is that?
What you got for us?
Well, shit. Like one of my shoutouts is just gone. I can't plug Tapatio. Very well done, Josh. I'm gonna shout out everything else I usually shout out, which is first and foremost, Roll20. Make sure you're on that. Make sure you're supporting them because they're an awesome service that are doing awesome things. Also, people that I have purchased things from and can't, refund because it's digital now, is things from Mythic Portal Games, who, there might be some tokens from them a little bit later in tonight. We'll see how the night takes us. Gabriel Picard, also, we'll see how the night takes us. Other places that I have definitely purchased things, Printable Heroes, Kev's Lounge, David Hemingway, please notice me, senpai. And then I also wanted to shout out Zero Gestures Artist Shop, Carlos's friend again, because I, once again, think they have a lot of cool shit. And at some point, I will be buying their DM t-shirt. And also, I want to shout out my mom because she was trying to do something sweet and ended up doing something hilarious. And she tried getting me a regular mouse pad that was Dungeons and Dragons related. And she got me this blanket mouse pad that's as big as my face. And when I told her it was big, her response was, oh no, it's big, because she didn't read the specs on it. But that's okay because I love it and it takes up half of my table. So shout out to you, Mom. Love you.
It's the thought that counts.
And
It really is.
back to you, Pat.
I like that I'm a news anchor that everybody just throws it back to.
Now with
I'm the one
weather.
in the studio.
You're welcome.
I would like to take my shout out to, as always, thank my wife for allowing me to play Imagination with you guys every week for hours and hours on end. I'm sure she appreciated last week off, but I missed it, and I'm glad that we're back this week. I would also like to shout out Corinne's Instagram again, @sugared.strawberries. She did some commission work for us. She made us look like Winnie the Pooh characters, and it's fucking adorable. She's open and available for commissions, so if you guys are looking to get anything drawn up, definitely reach out to her. And just a big old shout out to no one else, because I don't really give a shit. So
Got
I have a quick question
Yeah.
before you throw it over to me.
yeah,
Do we sing Carlos Happy Birthday?
we don't.
Yes.
Because it's
We don't.
copyright?
We don't.
Happy
It is-
birthday. It's your birthday too. Happy birthday. I'm not singing the birthday song. Happy birthday.
Legally
From all of us
different.
to you. Something. Welcome to Applebee's.
Thank you.
And
That
it's
was
at this
yeah.
point, Drew's going to come out with that cake, Drew.
It's in the fridge.
He can't.
It's funny because Drew used to
Part of
work
the
at
Drew.
Applebee's actually.
It's all fucking coming together, dude.
It's like it's full circle.
Coming together, baby.
On
Oh, we had a clip?
that
No clip?
note, we don't have a clip. We don't have a clip.
Damn it.
All right, set up this clip.
On that note, Dice Daddy, whenever you're ready.
Oh my God, it's been 2 weeks. So let's see if it's all in the brain here. Last time we were all together.
We leveled up to level 20.
Last time we were all together. Basically, you guys were fighting the residual typhoon that happened of Drunk Thok and Captain Creed, where the captain kind of scorned the four of you, and you all kind of licked your wounds, sulked, mostly Dremel, because Thok was too drunk to know what happened. And eventually, the four of you reconvened back on the ship. It was a regular episode. We ended early. It was actually a shorter episode than we usually go for. We learned a few things. We learned that Paul can talk, and he has a name. And he introduced himself and revealed this to Dremel and Donner before revealing it completely to the group. Thok had made an agreement with Captain Creed to allow him passage on the ship and to go to the Isle of Storms, that he would be striking a bargain with them, or specifically with her as far as profits between their two ships. Alder was working on a letter, and Dremel was trying to kind of coax things back with Captain Creed. So, last 2 weeks ago, I gave you all some kind of like homework to go through and go over, that this journey would be over the course of the next 72 hours. And of course, we will be role-playing that to an extent before we get to the Isle of Storms. But I had asked you ahead of time to kind of plan for me. So who would like to jump in first and tell me and the rest of your party what the next 72 hours look like for your character?
I could begin.
Go on.
So obviously, Olda has spent a lot of his time. You would notice that he's the first day. He's really focusing on writing and spending some time with Aya. And the reason is because as long as the weather looks clear on the first day, since he knows that we're going to be starting to travel into some storms, he's going to have Aya deliver a letter to his mother, Solana. So Aya is no longer going to be on the journey with us. He's going to go ahead and send her off. And would you want me to read the letter now, or would you rather it not be brought up yet?
That's a you call. You can totally read the letter if you'd like. If any of you notice Alder writing, I would assume you would inquire about it. So that is entirely up to you if you guys want to talk about that.
Yeah, he's trying to be a little bit more open with the group, so he probably would want everyone to kind of understand what's going on. So, letter to his mother. Let me bring it up here. My dearest mother, Solana, I hope that you are well. It has been a long while since we've rode each other, and I'm sure a lot has changed. As you know, it's been about 100 years since Father suggested I leave to find myself, and I think I have. I don't know how much I'll be welcomed back home by Father, as I've heard some information about how much things have changed around Fulsera. Production and destruction continues, and it looks like the heir to the family business is likely in the hands of my newfound siblings. I just wish that you would have told me about them. I understand the secrecy, but I would have liked to have been there to meet them. Father probably thinks that I would have been a toxic influence, which is why I guess you didn't tell me to begin with. I will be returning to the area soon. I don't know when exactly, but I will be back, and I'd like to meet my new siblings. But like I said, I don't think that I'll be very welcome, so I won't be around long, I presume. I will pick up some of my things and possibly some of Grandfather's things so that I can remind the world of his legacy. Delivering this letter is my girl, Aya. Because I'm traveling, she will likely stay in the area with you. She can fend for herself and likely won't need too much of your attention, but just take good care of her until I arrive. I will see you sometime soon. Always love, Alder Linden. Specifically not putting my real last name in there.
So, you kind of finish writing this letter, and you scroll it up and you attach it to Aya's leg on that first morning. And she looks at you, and you look off into the distance in the horizon and kind of stroke her under her chin and her her head for a bit before you kind of reach out with your arm and hoist a little bit before you see her kind of lift off. And you see her wings span, and as she soars off on that first morning with your letter.
Yeah, and then after she takes off with the letter, a lot of since we're in the, out at sea, I'm going to be taking a good look at wildlife that is in the water that I could try and observe for potential summoning purposes later down the road.
Yes, and we did discuss how your summoning works, correct?
Yeah, we determined that obviously when it comes to summoning, just by seeing the creature, I can summon them. If I were to want to wild shape into something, I would have had to observe the creature for at least an hour. So obviously, if there is something that's traveling along our boat for a while, I would try and focus on that for a long period of time in order to do that. But I'm not, I'm not sure if there's going to be something that's going to be like traveling in our wake for a while or anything like that. So.
Okay. So
would I be? Oops, sorry.
No, you're okay. What's up, Doc?
With him observing and stuff, would that be something that I'd be able to assist him with? Like every once in a while, if I have the Trident of Fish Command, I'd be able to dominate beasts up to 60 feet away as long as they have a swim speed. So anyone that he would specifically want to have a closer look at, I would ask that beast to come towards the surface so that he has more of a mental observance of this species.
Okay, yeah, for sure. You guys can can work on that together. While we actually kind of are on the topic of you, Thok, why don't we move on to Thok? What were you exactly going to be doing the next 72 hours?
After sobering up and no longer being drunk or hungover, I would ask for a private audience with Captain Creed so that we can finalize, draw up the agreements of the way that I am paying her back, which was that she would earn, if I'm not mistaken, I said it was 10% of everything that the Horizon pillages, plunders, earns from now in perpetuity, as long as the ship is afloat.
Right.
And so I would make sure that everything is good with her, that there are no trickery or any double terms in there that would make either one of us suspicious to the contract. And then I would offer up my services as a sailor, whether it be to steer the ship, to manage the ropes, to anything she would need on the ship as a measure of good graces and an apology for, one, ruining her show, and two, for everything that's happened in the past.
Okay. I would say later in the afternoon of the first day, you do end up at her office, and the two of you are able to write up the paperwork, and everything seems to be there doesn't seem to be any kind of like sneaking or any kind of like loopholes, anything like that. And eventually you do propose the your sailor services, and she looks at you inquisitively and she goes, well, that is very generous of you, and I do appreciate that. I obviously wouldn't trust you with this large of a ship. No offense, because, I'm a captain, you're a captain. If anything were to happen to me, I mean, we do have a chain of command. However, we can only get so close to the islands. We do have a smaller boat that you will be needing to commandeer, so I would suggest, if you'd like, stockpiling what you need for when you get on your trip, and more than welcome to utilize that service and anything on the ship that you think you might need.
All right. Will do. Thank you.
You're very welcome. And she gets up. Yes.
Oh, sorry. I thought we were. This is fine.
You're okay. Go. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say that the next thing I would do with her is, like, if she had any curiosities, I would offer up any information. Whether like how we got here, how we landed on the ship, anything that she was curious about or wanted to know, I would offer up any of that information as well.
Sure. Well, you start kind of blurting that out. You're like, you're probably wondering why we're here and all that and how we got here. And she kind of raises an eyebrow and she goes, I heard that you possibly escaped from a penitentiary up in the mountain, Stone Ward, was it?
Yeah. Then maybe you're not wondering how we got here. You already know.
And you see her, and she pops a cork off of a a champagne glass, and you see her, and she pours a cup in front of her, and then one adjacent, and she gestures you to sit down and pick up your glass.
I grab my glass.
Well, I have some idea, but I haven't heard everything from your compatriots, so I do love a good story. So please tell me, how did you even get into the prison in the first place? I mean, you've been pretty slick since our past meeting.
Someone caught wind of me in Flamingo Bay and pretty much ratted out my whereabouts.
Well, you might have to start thinking about actually doing an honorable side hustle as opposed to just pirating. So at least you have some kind of cover, yes?
Yeah, I guess. We try to fish, but it doesn't really work on a boat so big.
And she looks at you inquisitively and she goes, I guess so. I mean, how do you not fish on a boat?
I mean, we fish, it's just they're not good at it.
And this is the first time that she actually kind of breaks from this like cold demeanor towards you, and she chuckles a little bit before taking some of her drink. And it seems that she kind of warms up to you over the course of the next hour or two, actually, of you two kind of sitting there trading different kind of pirate stories, different acquaintances that you have, and mutual contacts and contracts. And it seems that you're slowly but surely patching that relationship.
Yeah. So since things are seemingly going pretty well, I would like to make your proposition free of charge, of course, to show as a gesture of good faith. I vow to do my best to protect your cousin while on the Alice Storms. I don't know what we're looking forward to, but you have my word that I know she could. It seems like she can take care of herself, but just putting the offer out there.
And she kind of smirks and she goes, I appreciate that. She seems to have taken a infatuation with your blonde friend, so any kind of actual protection I would greatly appreciate. Or make sure she comes back in one piece.
I don't think it's her we have to worry about, but yes, definitely.
She kind of smiles and she goes, she's the only one I really care about. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it for you. Just make sure she gets back.
Deal. I will.
Good. Now tell me about Tibrin as she goes into the next kind of like moves the conversation away from her cousin and goes and puts the spotlight kind of back onto you.
So, what do you want to know? Like,
Well, I mean, previously when I saw you two, you looked pretty cozy. You were pretty much eye fucking each other last time I saw you. And so I wanted to know if the eye fucking turned into a
Just
relationship or just fucking. I mean, look who you're talking to.
no, it's definitely a relationship.
That's good.
He's one that I've never felt this way about before.
Okay.
Stubborn, definitely way more. That's the word I'm looking for. He's the opposite side of my coin, I guess. Opposites do attract. So.
Yes, they certainly do. Well, and she kind of rolls her eyes and she goes, if down the road you need any marital services, I know a person.
Oh? Are you offering to be like our officiant?
It's part of the job. It's fine. Just, just as an extension of good faith. And
Deal.
she kind of like leans back and she nods. Good.
What about you? Any particular fancies, I guess? I don't know what the term is in your life. No
Currently or
particular, like,
previously?
currently. I mean,
No, not really. Um, don't really have time for all that love and getting feelings and relationships. It's messy. Someone always ends up getting hurt, whether that's in the long run or
how does a worshiper of what the whole hero
Sex.
soon
X.
not really look for love, though? If you don't
Well,
mind me asking.
I frankly get this question a lot when I'm officiating. So, little bit of an education. Soon is the goddess of love. However, her practitioners and most of her knights are were more into polygamy than monogamy. I would rather have an intimate night with one person, several people, but I don't foresee myself having a longer future than that. It's fantastic in the moment, and in that moment is what is important. It's not what comes after and what the promises that we make to each other are. Of course, there's a place for that, but it's not. It's never really been for me.
I can respect that. You live in the moment. You live in the now.
The time I can live in.
I'll toast to that, and I'll raise my drink.
Last you, and there's a light clink. So
kiss.
Ew.
I have a few preparations. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to knock on the door. It'll be closed, but you don't need to make an appointment.
Very well. Thank you again for everything and for not throwing me overboard.
I did think about it, though.
Oh, I know. I knew you would when the moment you found out it was me.
Yeah, no, almost instantly. But I've also been thinking about it for about 5 years since you've done that, so very hard not to.
Way to live in the moment.
And she winks. That's all I got.
Have a good night, and I'll walk.
Mhm.
I'll walk out.
And you leave, and Manu is standing next to you and walks with you, and he goes, "That went a lot better than I expected, actually."
Did you doubt me?
Yes,
Thanks. I'm glad that you have faith in me.
I have zero faith in you. I thought we've established this.
Yeah, and see, and now we should, you should trust me just a little bit more.
Let's get onto
Yeah.
the isle and not be underwater for the next eon.
I mean, we're not going to be underwater. We just, again, we made good. We're buddy. She's like my flame dame now.
See, it's going over your head. She said, "There's an island of stones, and you're gonna be on a ding." Fuck, man, I can't. Sometimes, yeah.
I
And
know.
he just kind of keeps walking.
Fine, we'll prepare the little dinghy thing. Okay, fine, let's go. And I'll go prep whatever I need on the dinghy.
Okay.
I say dinghy, but you know what I mean.
I do know what you mean. We will go then next to Dremel. Trem, what you doing for the next 72 hours?
Well,
Yee.
yee. Well, as we discussed, I have 3 things I'd like to be doing.
Yes.
The first one, most simple. Just want to practice my bow and arrow skills, see how good I can get. It's been a while since I've used one, and I'd like to test that out again.
Okay. And
Go ahead.
what particularly are you shooting? You're shooting off the boat. You're shooting on the boat. You're kind of just setting up targets and like trying to hit them.
Yeah, on the boat, because I've only got a set number of arrows. I'm not trying to shoot those out. Those
fair.
cost money. So
Those do.
probably be setting up. I'll probably do a series of like drinks, place them somewhere on like a banister, do a shot, and see how I do.
Okay. So it does take a little bit to gain proficiency with the new weapon. Do you have proficiency in bow and arrows?
Bow and arrow is a simple weapon, so yes.
Okay. Yeah, I forget. Okay. So after like I would say 20, 30 minutes or so, you start kind of getting the swing back into things, and it's almost like you never missed a beat from when you were a kid with the bow and arrow.
I'd also, when I was a kid, I did not have the ability to do mage hand, so I want to see how well I can shoot using the mage hand as my pull arm. So
Okay.
they only he can only do 10 pounds of force, so I don't think I can shoot it very far because I think bows are normally like 50, 70 pounds
Yeah.
of force.
But he could probably load it for you while you're reaching for another arrow.
Oh yeah, all right, that's what I'll have him do. That thing you said with words.
Okay. And then what is the second thing you wanted to do?
All right, the second thing I want to do is craft an uncommon level magical item, one that we talked about already.
Okay.
I know just the amount of time it takes to craft a magical item. I need at least one person helping me. Is it just one, or do I need more?
I would say it would be at least one to start cutting the time in half.
All right. So should I be looking for, like, should I stop at one, or do I go just try to find a bunch of them? That's what I'm trying to get at.
A bunch of people to help you build your magic item?
Yeah, or like a handful.
A handful. Well, first you got to get the supplies for the magic item.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we won't keep it a surprise. I'm going to try to make a deck of illusions. So I imagine for that I would just need like cardstock or paper or something like that, and
So
ink.
Yep. So what we discussed is you need cardstock and you need ink, and then you also need to enchant that before making and putting down the markings on the deck of cards.
Okay. And what do I need for the enchanting?
For the enchanting, if I remember correctly, for an uncommon item, altogether it is 500 gold pieces to craft, and usually when it's by yourself, it's 20 days because you work in 25 gold increments. But if you're getting someone else, I would say if you get another person, you can cut the 20 to 10. And then as far as the enchantment and the ink goes, I would say just because we discussed it a little bit, it would most likely take about, by the time you get to the island, that both of the enchantments would be done. So that would take 3 days out of your 10-day mark. So then you would just have another 7 days, another week to make them.
All right.
Question.
Yes.
If I have a deck of playing cards, would that work? I mean, I'm assuming if he asks around.
I mean, it would definitely help with the cardstock issue and the base. He would still need to paint over them with the ink, and he would still need to enchant both of them.
Right.
But it would definitely cut down the material components, of course.
All right.
Well, I have playing card deck, so.
Yeah, I'll is that something I would know about, Thok? Would I have seen you playing with that at any point?
Probably, like we've been traveling around, so I would probably either play like solitaire or something like on my own, or pretending to play with Manu, even though I know that he can't touch the cards. Like I can move them for him.
Right. Cool. Then yeah, I'll go up to Thok. Thok, what did you say you were doing again? Aside from talking to Creed, like what would I find you doing?
Gathering materials that we would probably need on the island, like probably proficiencies. If I'm not doing that, then I would be assisting Alder with like raising the fish and commanding them to come and so that Alder can check them out.
All right. Then yeah, I'll find you. I'll find Thok, and I walk up to him as he's trying to find marine life for Alder. So I see him looking for fish, and what are you doing, Thok?
Alder, he wants to see all the different marine life, so I'm just using this trident that I got from Wizard Steve God knows how long ago, to command him to come up to the surface so that Alder can check them out. Not exactly. I think he's just seeing them, or I don't know. He tried to explain it to me, and I can't really comprehend. But I guess it'll be cool when it happens.
I mean,
We need to get them into the bathtub. So.
Oh, well,
Oh, Alder. How long have you been here for?
Oh, I thought you would buy us, but
Well, I am
yeah.
now.
Sorry, I thought that's what you had said. All day. Yeah.
Man, you just sneak up on people, don't you?
I got very quiet feet. Yeah.
Oh, the way you said that.
I mean,
Why don't we just throw
sorry.
you in, if we just throw you in the water, you can get real up close to those fish. And then, I don't know, Thok, you can do that water thing you did before. And then, Alder, you look like a good climber because you're green and trees are green. So maybe you can climb back on the ship.
I'm gonna say thank you for the offer, but I'd rather stay on the boat if I can.
Well,
The next T-shirt needs to be hashtag Dremel Logic.
don't even.
well, keep it in mind. Offers on the table.
Well, not all the fish are exactly friendly. Like sharks aren't really like the friendliest of fish. And I don't think all during the water would really be the best.
I mean, he's got no open wounds, right?
I don't think sharks care. They just want to eat.
Yeah.
That common misconception. Sharks are actually very nice and don't kill anyone. I heard. I may or may not be sponsored by sharks. Well, anyway, so I heard. So I remember that deck of cards you had. I've seen you play a couple different card games around the fire. How attached to those cards are you?
Not really. It's something to do when we're bored. Like,
Could I like borrow those and then never give them back?
if you want me to gift them to you, yes. I more than owe you than just a deck of cards. Like, yes, you've helped unpetrify me from being in stone by a basilisk. Like, I think I can pay you a deck of cards.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't say give. You said give. But, I mean, it'd be rude of me to say no. So, yes, please. Thank you.
Yes, here's a gift from me to you, Dremel. Not having to ask. And I just
Thank
feel
you. All right. And then I'll turn around, take a step, and be like, oh, also, how would either of you feel about helping me make a thing? You got any plans over the next 3 days?
No, I already sent Aya on her way, so not anything too crazy. What do you have in mind?
Well, so I got these cards now. Thank you, Thok. And I want to make a different kind of deck of cards that I did a little reading of before. I found a book down in the library here, and it looks real interesting. So, if you guys want to help me,
Yeah, sure.
oh,
I mean, I can try.
I thought you cut out for a second. I think you're back.
I probably did because I think you guys cut out for a second too. Sorry about that. Internet's being wonky. Well, how about this? If Alder can help you, and then anytime that I'm not running back and forth trying to pack everything up that we need, I'll pop in to see if you need any assistance. Does that work?
Yeah, I think so. Alder, just come. I got a couple more supplies I got to go find. So just, I don't know, find me when you're free.
Yeah, no, we'll go ahead and some of the smaller aquatic beasts that we can get. I'll see if we could probably try and command them up onto the deck so that way I can get them in the tub and maybe get a little bit of a closer look with them.
Sounds good.
Sounds like a plan. We'll find you.
Okay. And then, Drem, what's the third thing you wanted to do on your 72 hours?
Third thing is just get back on Creed's good side, kind of talk to her, kind of learn more about the ship, learn more about her, just bond in general. And then I do want to ask her if she knows anything about Adam and his Thieves Guild.
Okay. Are you trying to approach her the first day, second day, third day?
I would say the first day, the first night, because she agreed to have me stay in her quarters again, right?
She did.
Okay.
She did.
So the first night, I think it'll just be me and her catching back up, talking, doing the niceties. Night 2 is where I think I'll start asking about Adam.
Okay. Okay. And then any time during the course of the next 72 hours, are you waking up before her to go meditate? Are you meditating with her? Are you doing anything like, are you going to try to do the mushrooms again?
Aren't we out of mushrooms?
I believe so.
I guess it depends on what she has too.
I mean, she has other hallucinogenics
Yeah,
that you guys can partake in.
I would say that she would become my psychonaut guide since she has everything.
Right.
First night, just talk to her normal. Second night, ask for that information. And then third night, depending on how well the third night goes, would determine if I were comfortable enough to meditate with her or not. As it's been a solo practice for most of my life.
Yeah. No, I gotcha. That's why I wanted to put it out there just in case. So, first night, you guys it's a little rigid at first, as she is still a little cross with you, but eventually you're able to kind of ease her back into that previous state that you two were in, where you two were kind of drinking, catching up, asking how you met Thok and kind of going over what he relayed to her about your situation at Stoneward and whatnot. By the second night, while you guys are kind of like laying next to each other and you start inquiring about Adam, let me see if she knows anything about Adam. She kind of looks at you and she goes, Adam, I'm sorry. Adam's a little of a generic name. Do you know what guild he's part of?
I wish I did. That's kind of what I'm trying to find out. Did we ever learn to DM? Did we ever learn his last name?
You didn't learn his last name, but he told you what.
We did learn what guild he was in.
What guild he was part of. I said it several times.
I was looking through my notes and I feel like I forgot to write it down.
Demon boars.
Oh, that was the name. I thought that was like something that we encountered that I forgot about.
Nope.
All right. Yeah, he's a part of the demon boars. He spoke infernal, and that kind of threw me for a loop.
Demon Boars, the Thieves Guild.
Yeah. I don't know if Thok told you, but he was hunting us for a good while.
Yeah, he mentioned that you ran into some bounty hunters, but he didn't mention what guild they were part of. Demon Boars. That's interesting. They usually are part of like an underground circuit, like a cartel almost, moving different kind of things, whether it's libations, people, weaponry. They're not exactly the cleanliness, the model of cleanliness, if you will. They're like pirates, but land pirates, but a little bit worse.
Yeah, they not in so many words threatened the caravan of children we were taking from one town to another. And to clarify, we were not taking hostage children. We were returning rescue victims or rescuees. We are good people, not Adam.
Thok did mention the children that you found underneath the floorboards.
Yeah.
There.
All right, good. Yeah, I mean, I just want to make sure you know where I'm coming from and like how I'm not a bad guy and how you should be glad that you gave me a second chance.
And she kind of has this amused look on her face, and she goes, "Uh-huh."
Yeah, huh?
And she kind of looks at you, and she goes, "So." And she kind of like looks around. She's like, "So, what are you expecting to find at the islands?"
I'm guessing we'll probably find some storms. Probably find some sand, some dirt, a lot of rocks, some sort of greenery, maybe a cave. I bet, and this is going to be a reach, but I bet that there's going to be water all around it. And that water salty as fuck.
And she smiles again. She goes, I'm sure it will.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't know what to expect, and I'm not really too concerned in general. I mean, I'm here with Donner. He's the one who's got his thing going on, and after that, I just want to take out the Red King, and the sooner we power through the Isle of Storms, the sooner I can decapitate the Red King. Both heads.
Both heads. He has two heads.
Most men do.
And she smiles again. And she kind of curls up a little bit, and she grabs your wrist and puts it around her.
Getting
Yes.
toasty.
And she goes, it's cold.
And Dremel doesn't really say anything additional. Just settles into the cuddling position that they found. And
Yeah.
just does his best to be present. Clear his
And
mind.
as you're kind of like staring off onto your side, looking up the window, like she has these different curtains around her windows, you slowly kind of, eventually you start hearing that snore humming she does as she kind of falls asleep. As there's like a new tune that she's kind of snoring to.
Once I hear that, I to myself I say, "Damn it, she didn't tell me anything about the demon boars." Oh well, that'll be a morning thing. And she's
Okay. Mm-hmm.
how is she laying on me?
She's kind of like she's got, I would say, probably head to chest, kind of both arms to her to one side and the other arm to the other, and kind of has your arm draped around her shoulder, so you're kind of like scooped.
Okay, then if my other hand's free, I'm gonna try to reach and get my journal, and delicately write a short entry.
Okay. You also have a mage hand, so the mage hand might be able to get your journal too.
Yeah, that'll work too.
Yeah.
You are my mage hand. So
Sometimes I gotta remind you of stuff, bud.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I cast Mage Hand, have it delicately pull my journal out, place it where I can see it, and then have him pull out my ink, whatever, and
Yeah.
quill, and begin writing a short entry.
Okay. Eventually, you're able to write your entry. Anything else that you wanted to do with your time on the boat, away from everyone, and then eventually, obviously, we'll get all four of you together.
Nope. I need to find the rest of the materials for the deck. Which do we need to roleplay that, or just gonna say we did?
I would say eventually you would be able to find ink on the ship, either by means of Captain Creed or one of the girls might have, ink in their room. It's not an uncommon kind of resource.
Okay. And then I'd like to, I do want to find out more about her knowledge of the demon boars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, over the course of you kind of asking her and inquiring about it, obviously she relays to you what their business is, like what they do in their business, which is, it seems like they have their hand in kind of anything. She doesn't quite know who the leader of the demon boars is because they are very secretive. But she does know a few places they operate out of, like mainstays that they operate out of.
And where would that be?
She's able to give you those locations, but I don't have a map in front of me, and you don't either. So eventually, we'll out of game. I'll give you a location for them.
Okay.
Just from through her travels. Okay.
Cool.
And then we will go to Donner. Donner, what are you doing for the next 72 hours?
For for the next 72 hours, I just kind of hanging out with Val.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of seeing if we have a plan on how we'd like to proceed. I'm talking to Moonin, just kind of hanging out with him, not asking anything in particular, just as long as if he's around. Just kind of want to be hanging out with him because I get a good feeling when I'm around Moonin.
Mm-hmm.
And just praying a lot. Like, for anyone that comes to the deck of the ship, mostly during the day, and sometimes right before sleep, you'll see Donna just kind of sitting there as far forward on the boat as he can possibly get. And he's kind of just listening for storms, and he's kind of just he's somewhere in between peace and complete chaos, but he looks like he's ready for it. There's a nervous excitement because he's excited to see what's waiting for him on that island. So, and then throughout the course, if Thok needs help with the boat or getting supplies on or whatever, he would help with that. But he's mostly keeping to himself. He's talking to Val every once in a while, and yeah, just hanging out with Moonin and praying and getting ready.
Okay.
Quieter than he normally is. Very quiet.
Yes. As the days kind of progress, you see the sky go from, clear skies to more grays and darkers. And obviously by the third day, you're in a complete blackened sky. During this time, every time you kind of like close your eyes to go meditate, after about the first like few hours of you praying, eventually you kind of feel a small kind of soft hand on your shoulder as you look up and you see Val, and she goes, can I pray with you?
Oh, of course. Of course. Please.
Don't normally do this in front of others, but I figure we're going to the Isles, so right?
I mean, I'll pray to anyone that'll listen at this point,
Try praying to Talos. Maybe he might be able to come down to you and offer you guidance. I mean, he's been doing it for me, right?
Surprisingly, I've not met a lot of people who get direct responses from gods, so you might be the exception, not the rule.
I've never seen him. I've heard him. I mean, Jessie's seen soon. I mean, she was chosen. Usually clerics don't get chosen. They just kind of pray and then they kind of cross their fingers and hope that positive things happen. And sometimes they do. Paladins, no. Paladins are usually chosen. So I'm just happy anyone responds.
Yeah, well, you're special, I guess.
I wouldn't say that. And she kind of straightens her shoulders out, and she kind of sits next to you, and she closes her eyes. And she has this smile on her face.
Close my eyes and pray to Talos, I guess.
Pray to Talos. Okay. So after a few, I would say an hour or two of just concentrating on the storm and Talos himself, go ahead and make a wisdom check for me.
Wisdom check?
Yes.
Okay. Let's go back to that. Oh, great. 15.
15. So as you're kind of concentrating on this god and breathing, you start hearing crackling of electricity. And as you kind of open your eyes, you look down at your hands, and they, between your fingertips, are jumps of electricity that are moving from your palm into your other finger, and it just looks like you're holding lightning in your own hand as you're concentrating on Talos. And you see Val, and you see that both of her hands are completely engulfed in this electricity and this lightning as you're kind of concentrating. Something different that hasn't really happened.
I kind of see it, and there's some alarm at first, and then I try and concentrate some more and see if I can get my hands like hers.
You kind of recenter, and you're thinking of this god, and you hear the crackling kind of get louder, and you see it actually bouncing from your hand to your forearms and soon to your chest, and eventually, where hers were kind of like glove lightning, you have almost a whole chest piece of lightning that eventually stretches to the other arm, and it looks like it's your full pectoral muscle all the way to your arms and your fingers, as you kind of test what the limits are of this.
That's new.
And eventually, I mean, as you concentrate, it stays to that, and you're able to control how bright and how frequent it is at some point. As Val eventually opens her eyes and she sees that you're it's almost like you're playing with the lightning, like it's moving around your arms and over your shoulders, and like you're reassessing yourself with it. As she looks mildly impressed.
I didn't know I could do this. This is brand new.
Yeah, no, that's very impressive. So I think you're going to be okay on on the island there.
I mean, one can hope, right?
We'll look out for each other.
Of course. I won't let the island harm a hair on your head.
And I mean, the rest of the trip is fairly quiet from there. I mean, you're doing that. You're spending time with Val. Is there anything the four of you are doing in particular together as you're kind of concentrating and preparing for this journey?
I think one thing I'd want to make sure we did is at least have one meal a day together, or at least a drink, something to make sure that we bond as a group. Or stay bonded, rather.
Yeah, I mean, I know that this ends up being a fairly important move for Donna. So I think we need to make sure that he kind of has like the reassurance that, you know, we all have his back and we're all here for him, regardless of what's going on. So a second Dremel's notion, and that's kind of what I think Aldo's piece would be.
Okay.
Yeah, I third it as well. I know
Make sure
that I'm not exactly in good graces, but I would mend things knowing that this leg is very important to him.
Yeah, just make sure he's got the support and feels that he has the support from his group.
Yeah. So I would most likely say maybe during the first morning of, you think there's going to be more hostility as eventually the rest of your party joins you as you're kind of sitting at the bow of the ship, and eventually everyone just kind of has a drink in their hand, either of alcoholic substance or water or what have you.
Half and half.
Or half and half. Mother's milk, as he calls it. Gross. And the four of you kind of reassess, plan out what you're going to do, what to expect from the Isle. And yeah, if you guys have any of your discussions, obviously at one point, Moonin does come down, much to Dremel's chagrin, and is studying the four of you as the four of you kind of rekindle your friendship and whatnot.
I know there's probably not much left to say because we've been talking this whole time. But I really do appreciate you guys helping me with this. And I hope you know that I will obviously be in your corner for whatever peril or problem or victory awaits us in your own corner, on your own journey. You'll have me with you. So I want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate it.
Whatever we come at this island, you got my sword. And my bow.
Yeah. I would say in my staff, even though it's a little bent.
It looks good though.
You have my new.
And then Manu goes, "I'm not his friend."
He says he'll do anything you need.
I didn't say that, and don't lie for me.
Let Manu know that I appreciate that. It's very kind of him.
He heard you and he's touched.
Yeah, I'm gonna touch the inside of his head and pull out his brain. Though I don't think I'll hit anything. Oh no, that's you.
He's really touched.
And and I'll just make sure I have like a good solid foundation with the group, and just kind of go back to the front of the boat and start to pray some more.
While you guys are kind of discussing and talking, you do feel a bump under the ship as the four of you kind of go to the side of it. You see this massive shadow under it, as there's this it's almost bigger than the ship. It's about 60 feet long and a fuck ton wide, as this whale kind of breaks the surface before going back down. Almost eclipses both suns as it.
Oh.
Do you think that's a good sign or a bad sign?
Oh no, it's beautiful nature. Can't
What
be
kind
a
of
bad
whale
sign.
is it?
So is it a good sign or a bad sign?
Can't be a bad sign in my mind.
Yeah, but like
Um,
in reality, is it a good sign or a bad sign?
I'm
It
voting
looks
for
like
good.
nature's prospering here.
We've had a lot
So-
of potential bad.
So is
let's
it-
go with good.
Is it a
Is you Chinese or Japanese?
I
So-
think it's a good sign.
Oh, okay.
Oh, right.
Why don't you
good,
just
all
say
right.
so?
Context clues, God.
It's
Ugh.
called
Everyone got that.
communication, man.
I know
gotten
you
to that
guys need to
chapter in
read
the
chapter
book.
4. You guys need to read chapter 14 personally. Just saying.
The four of you can make nature checks, with Bach making it at advantage because you are a sailor boy.
She said,
My
"See you later,
Charlie
boy."
Sailor boy.
8.
Uh,
Yeet.
Natural
Listen.
20.
natural 20.
Natural 1.
You're like, the fuck is that?
Shit.
Kill it!
What's that underwater ship doing?
Oh God, it has an eye. Oh,
Now, if it
gross.
matters, I have a -1, so it's a natural 20 minus 1.
It's still a natural 20. So Alder and Thok, you're both able to identify this as a juvenile blue whale.
Whew.
And you do know with your natural 20s, if it's male, it's going to be 80 feet long. And if it's female, it's going to be like 85 feet long. It's going to be a
Right.
big boy.
It's a baby.
It's a chonker husky.
With my natural 1, I would like to propose that Dremel gets scared and pulls out his bow and arrow to shoot it.
No,
The
I
fuck is
stop
that?
him immediately. It's a baby. It's fine. Like, they literally eat krill. They don't eat anything. They
Yeah, but
have
what
no
about
teeth.
That's a big ass baby. What about when that
That
baby
is a
runs out of
big-ass
krill?
baby.
When it runs out of krill, it's gonna come after us. Well, first Alder and then me because it goes
For
in
a
size
humanoid,
order.
I guarantee you were a big ass baby too, and no one shot you with an arrow.
You don't know that.
that.
You don't know my life.
Dremel, put it down. Put it down. Calm.
Sweetie,
You sure?
sweetie, it's me.
I could.
You put it down. Put it down,
I'm gonna pull it.
brother.
Crick, 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 crick.
He
Brother.
said, brother.
Oh, you piece of shit.
Put it down.
Okay. But
Trust
then
me, that
Go ahead.
thing's not gonna harm us.
Okay. And when there's about 10 pounds of force left, I let go. Oops.
Thunk.
Sorry.
Are you looking at the whale or are you looking at them?
Oh, I'm aiming down, but I'm not at the whale anymore. I turned so that it's just like in the
Okay.
ship.
Okay.
Oops,
so
sorry.
you lose an arrow as it goes thunk.
Trying to tell me what to do.
We're
Invoking
telling you
Brother.
what not to do.
Yeah,
That's
'cause
just
if
as
you-
bad.
It's leaving us alone. If you had shot that, it would have probably attacked the ship.
Well, I did shoot it. Nothing happened, so it's fine.
Well, it's because you didn't hit it. But
Yeah,
anywho,
you didn't say
let's
that.
continue.
Your language was very blunt.
Whale noises, am I right? Okay. So, if you guys have nothing else to concentrate on, we will move on to the morning of storms. So, eventually, as I described earlier, the clear blue skies that you guys have all kind of been accustomed to run into have eventually became more and more dark. By the third day, you're all kind of woken up to different crashings of thunder and lightning and waves smashing onto the side of the boat. The windows that you're normally accustomed to, Drummel, that are covered with curtains, and sunlight usually comes through, are completely blacked out by the time you kind of wake up to meditate. Eventually, the four of you are able to kind of assess. Thok, preparing the boat. What would you put into the little dinghy that would accommodate the five of you?
I would probably put like a day of provisions, the five of us. Obviously, like all of our equipment, like shield, weapons, whatnot. Trying to think because we were never told like time wise how long we're staying on this island.
We have
right?
a day.
We have a day.
Exactly.
Okay. Then I would probably put things to probably hide the boat just in case. Maybe like some tarps that like are like greenish, maybe that we can hide it in the woods in case it was gonna go missing. Because I don't know what to expect. I've never been to the island storms. Yeah.
Okay.
It wouldn't be a shit ton of stuff since we're just going there for a day.
Right, just bare minimum kind of stuff. So eventually the five of you were summoned into the captain's quarters. Dremel, obviously, you're already there. So you kind of leave and come back.
I've never
You're
been
like,
here
oh my
before."
god, this is all new to me.
Oh, wild.
Oh wow. But the captain basically debriefs the five of you, and she goes, I'm going to be pretty frank. The water is fairly choppy and very aggressive. We're going to try to get you as close to the island as possible, but there's going to be some rowing on all of your ends. Hopefully try to keep the boat steady and upright. And we're going to circle the island a bit. It's very bright and dark at the same time. So if there's anything that you might be able to do, does anyone have like different kind of colored light they can kind of shine to let us know that you are safely on the island, and then perhaps within the few hours when you need to be picked up?
Captain, I have a light spell that you should be able to see. It's dark enough. I can cast it in the sky when we make land.
And she kind of nods at you. My only concern is lightning. I don't want to get a confusion of your light possibly being lightning.
Well, just in case it's not, I can do the same thing. We can combine our efforts. Maybe make it spiral around or something fancy.
Could draw our names in the sky.
Yeah.
See?
Well, I could also light up Lightbringer, like my mace, so you have 3 people that can create light.
Oh, so you're just going to see a bright spot on the beach.
Yes. So try to get to the same place, and we'll do our best to get there.
10-4, Captain.
Yep.
Anything I can be of a service for you before you leave?
Just pray for us, and we'll be back soon. Don't leave without us.
24 hours.
I mean, you could make it longer if you wanted.
I could, but it's also very dangerous outside, and I don't want my ship to top sink, and then guess what? We're all stuck on this fucking island.
You are right. So maybe whatever, you know.
Bingo.
Well,
Donna's gonna.
and then, so I'll follow him out, but before I do, I look at Creed and say, I may or may not have taken a very valuable item from your room, so please don't leave us. And then I use minor illusion in her ear, say, no, I didn't. I promise. Don't hurt me.
And you see her, and she smirks, and she goes, come back in one, please, all of you. Yeah?
You got it.
Don't want to be responsible for your deaths.
As we're walking to the boat, I'm gonna turn and look at everyone. Hey, if any of us die, it's obviously my fault. So I don't know what she's talking about.
And Val kind of comes out of her room. So you're all kind of like in the hallway, and she is fully adorned in that armor that you saw quite a long ago. You see this like kind of heavy leather armor. It has different markings of lightning on it, like 3 points of lightning striking the same spot, essentially. Her hair is kind of pulled back and bunned up her dreads. And and you notice as you get closer that under it is kind of like this scaling. So it's kind of a hodgepodge of scale mail and leather armor. And she has this very large shield that has the 3 points kind of striking down and this long sword at her side. And she goes, yeah, so ready then, yeah?
I mean, as ready as we're going to be.
Yeah, let's do it.
Alrighty.
She kind of does a weak smile as the 5 of you kind of break to the top deck, and it's just sheets of just rain the size of golf balls, almost like battering into you. The fact that you might not all be able to see like 2 feet in front of you is concerning, as eventually the 5 of you kind of get to the side of the ship where this dinghy is that's strapped up.
Donna is smiling like a crazy person, just so everyone knows.
And it's loud to the point where if you guys needed to talk to each other, you would have to shout at each other from being like less than a foot away from each other, just by the way.
Man, this is almost worse than a blizzard.
Yes, I thought that was a weird-looking gizzard.
There's a wizard? I've always hated lizards.
And then Fox like, and then I say something.
What I was going to say was stolen.
So the 5 of you are kind of loaded up, and you actually see Brock. He's wearing kind of like, almost like he's wearing like a hooded like leather jacket to kind of keep the rain out. It's a very big raincoat. He's a Goliath. It's a big raincoat. He looks like a very large Georgie from It. And he's holding onto one of the ropes, and he kind of looks at you, and he looks over at specifically to Val, and he kind of nods his head, and he has this look of concern on her face, and she kind of weakly smiles and smirks back before he starts to slowly lower the boat down as the waves are just smacking into the side of the boat. The waves almost larger and taller than where the boat is, as the 5 of you are lowered onto the water. Now, there are 2 oars. I don't know if there was a discussion of who was going to row the dinghy.
I'm going to row the dinghy.
If it needs 2 people, I'll help.
Okay. So, Donner, you take left oar, and Drummel, you take right. And Thok, this is your opportunity to captain your little ship. So, if you could, I do need you to roll some survival checks for me to navigate us to the side of the island.
Now, would I be able to control water for the next 10 minutes to assist with this in any way, shape, or form by redirecting flow?
Yeah, so I'll give it to you at advantage if you do that.
So what is the survival?
It is survival.
So yeah, I will
Make sure you don't capsize, baby.
I will definitely cast redirect water or control water. That'll be a 13 plus 5, 18 for the first one.
Okay. So you're able to get away from the ship fairly safely. You take out this very chunky telescope that you got from Captain Creed to kind of see where the land is, and you're able to kind of navigate with these beads of just water going down. Luckily, you've been in and you've directed in a storm before. As you kind of look over, Alder, how are you doing in this rickety boat?
Doing pretty good. I feel like I'm handling it well. I was going to offer to help Thok, but he seems to have it.
Okay, so you're just kind of like taking in everything. As occasionally you'll see lightning strike the water, and you're like, "Oh, that's not good." But you're able to maintain any kind of composure as the 5 of you are able to row. So Thok, go ahead and make another check for me as you start seeing land.
Dremel had.
Oh, did you have something?
Yeah, I want to do something. I want to also cast Mage Hand and have him Glover style stand on the front of the ship like he's charging into battle.
Like he's George Washington?
Yeah, like George Washington.
Oh, yeah. For some reason, Glover has a weird little like coat on, like a glove coat. And he's like...
He's wearing a powdered wig for some reason.
Yeah, and he's got wooden and hippopotamus teeth. So go ahead, Thok, make another survival check for me as you start getting closer to where the shoreline is.
It's not as good. 12.
12. Okay, so the water is starting to get a little bit harsher. There is water entering the vessel from the very large waves as you guys are being battered.
As that happens, I take the Mage Hand and I have him stop being that thing that he was, George Washington.
Hand Washington.
Yeah, Hand Washington. And now he's going to be Hand Bucket. He's going to be a bucket and get all the water he can out.
So you just see this little hand just go as just getting barreled with waves.
You're doing your best, buddy.
I need him to do better.
He
Val
can't hear you.
Oh, damn it. He doesn't have ears, does he?
No, you're just talking to me. I was talking
Ta-
to myself. I need encouragement sometimes.
You're bad at this.
You're bad at this. That's the opposite of what I just asked for.
You are right. Okay. Let me see here. Sorry, give me 1 second.
Dude.
And you see Val, and she goes towards the back of the ship where I'm assuming Thok is also standing. And you hear, and she goes, "Move! I have an idea."
Pop the raft.
Okay.
Pop the raft. Pop the raft.
And she goes, "I know." You see her, and she kind of rubs her hands together as she does like a wingspan motion with her arm, and you actually see the palms of her hands glow before she kind of claps them together as she casts Gust of Wind. So there is a line of 60 feet of strong wind, 60 feet long and 10 feet wide, that blasts from any direction that she chooses. So you see her actually push off against the current and push forwards towards the island. So it does help you a little bit there, but I do need you to make one last check for me.
DM, check your phone real quick.
Check my phone.
Yeah.
Did you text me when I don't
did
have bars?
Text, no, Facebook. I Facebooked you.
You Facebook message.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should he do that before I roll?
I would let him make a ruling for me real
Okay.
quick first.
No problem.
If not, as your self-appointed first mate, I will be assisting you with this.
Well, I still have redirect water up for 10 minutes. I don't know how long it's been, if it's been 10 minutes, but
Didn't help last time, so any little bit can be good.
you're not wrong.
Okay. Sorry about that.
No, you're good.
Okay. That's fair.
All right. So,
Go ahead.
roll survival.
Roll survival.
Okay, that's way better. 23.
23. So you're able to direct everyone, and you do get to the coast of the Island of Storms, and it is this massive kind of island that, upon closer inspection, you see that the grass and the seaweed on there isn't green. It's actually a kind of deep amethyst purple. As eventually, when you get to the shore, you start dragging the boat over to make sure it doesn't leave you. Flip it over as the five of you kind of go up and start climbing up the side of this very small cliff to get to the actual platform of the island itself. I'm not gonna have you roll for it. It's gonna be fine. As you kind of get there, what's that?
Is it still super loud? Do we have to yell, or is
Yes, it is still very loud. You're in the middle of like almost like an eye of a hurricane. Like winds are going horde.
horde?
That's something we've all experienced.
And Val kind of like looks at you, Donner, and she kind of bellows, "Do you know what we're looking for?"
A temple of some kind. I think.
You think? You're supposed to know.
I just kind of wanted to trust my gut.
We should have had this conversation before.
Yeah. I'm gonna look around. Does this place look familiar to me?
Go ahead and roll a history check for me.
Oh no.
Negative
7.
1.
7.
7.
So you see, it's very hard to distinguish because you didn't anticipate the storm being so intense here.
It's fair.
And go ahead, everyone, roll a nature check for me again.
Nature or survival?
You know what? I'm sorry. Perception check. My mistake.
That's way better anyway.
11.
Would I have been able to cast guidance on myself before doing that?
No.
Okay. 28.
14.
Okay. 14. And what'd you get there, Thok?
28.
You got 28 as well?
Yeah.
Okay. So both Alder and Thok, you kind of notice that the grass that you're in is about, like, I would say knee high on Alder, so it's fairly high. And it's these kind of like purple, almost cattail like vegetation. And you actually see, as you're looking at it, it almost looks like they're getting electrically charged.
The grass?
Yes.
Pikachu.
We might want to get out of this field. It looks like this field is being charged by the storm electrically. That just doesn't sound good.
What?
No. It's a good thing I decided not to wear my armor. Which, by the way, I'm not wearing my armor.
Val's like, what?
We need to keep moving out of the field.
Okay. Where do we go?
Away from it.
I look around to see if there's a clear path around the field.
Go ahead and roll a investigation check for me.
Oh, God.
I'm going to look as well.
Tremel.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna elbow Donner and cast dancing lights, and kind of, and like not trying to use words, but just say, hey, like we got to do that thing.
Oh, right. Right. And I pull my mace up and I cast light on it,
Mm-hmm.
and I just start waving it.
And I send the dancing lights to do like a nice choreographed looking dance around his mace.
And the two of you kind of like look toward shore, and you see the wandering rose kind of float there before you see like a spark come up from it, a second pass, and then a big thunderous boom, almost like a cannon was shot to acknowledge.
Cool. I'll drop light and like attach my mace to my belt, and then look for somewhere to kind of hunker down as well.
And with the lights, I'm gonna have them kind of circle our party so that we can see anything that's around us.
Okay. It's fairly dark except for the flashes of lightning that happen, so the light does help. What did you get, Donner?
19.
And then what did you get, Thok?
15.
Okay. So the two of you are able to kind of dictate that there aren't any trees or anything, so it is a fairly flat area. You do see that there is a clearing of sorts of vegetation that is either shorter or non-existent that the two of you start boogieing towards.
Follow me! And I'll just take off in that direction.
Following.
Okay.
I'll follow.
Dremel, I need you to make a dex save for me, bud.
Yeah. Man, I'm rolling so bad tonight. 7.
Okay. So as the five of you are running, Dremel, you feel the hairs on the back of your arms kind of stand up before the grass embellishes you in electricity, and you take 8 points of lightning damage.
No, I jump first. Then they can't
You
touch
jump?
me. I jump. They can't touch me.
No, you get 8
Damn
points
it.
of lightning damage.
No.
As you're like, God damn it!
Shit, this is worse than bugs.
I hate you, Paul. I know it's his fault.
Seeing
Seeing
that happen, because I did promise that I was gonna protect her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to touch Val real quick and cast protection from energy.
Okay.
Obviously making it lightning.
Mm-hmm. And you see this shimmer kind of go over her, and she goes, "What did you do?"
I made your cousin a promise, and I use thaumaturgy to boom my voice so I don't have to scream as loud.
Oh, you don't have to yell at me.
I wanted to make sure you heard me.
Ah, a deaf man could hear you.
Good.
Good, a fucking bitch. So
Ungrateful.
selfish. some would say.
Selfish.
Eventually, the 5 of you start getting towards this clearing. And Donner, go ahead and roll another history check for me.
Oh, that's much better. 22.
22. You do start noticing that the vegetation is dying down, and it almost looks like it's been scorched. Like, it looks like it never... If vegetation could be scarred over, it looks like it would be scarred over from some kind of trauma. As eventually the grass gets lower and lower until eventually it's just mud and silt and just water from the storm.
Okay. Would I get the inkling that we're probably getting close to something?
I would think so, yes.
Okay. And I'll relay that to the group. My gut says we're getting closer.
So you do know
What
where we're
says
going.
Where?
Yes.
Closer to what?
Wherever we're supposed to go.
Closer to free. That's a song.
No, it's not that.
What?
This all sounds promising.
So
Alder's like, I'm a butt man.
I like asses myself.
I'm half and half.
And Alder's like, did someone say half and half? Starts smacking his lips. It takes you like, I would say 10 or 15 minutes of kind of trudging through, where eventually you're able to see on the crest of this, like, your line of sight, you see this very large stone kind of temple. And as you get closer to it, there seems to be a statue in front of it. However, it looks like it's been either battered to shit from the rain or from other kind of sources. It's up to about the knees of this figure, but there is a plaque kind of to the storm god that I don't believe anyone would be able to read except for Donner. And it does say Prince of Storms on it.
Okay.
What is it written in?
Go ahead and roll a fucking intelligence check to see if you can figure it out.
I'm doing that too.
I'm not.
Great.
Natural 20.
Natural 20, go on.
17.
Give me 1 second. So with your high rolls and Alder with your natural 20, you see that it is a very old and dead language. You're not exactly familiar with it, but you are able to identify, like, fuck. You can imagine that whoever erected this temple was either a close follower of this god, or it was maybe even the god itself that kind of put it together. That's how old the language is.
Holy shit.
What?
Did both of us get it, or just him?
Just him.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know exactly what this is, but
It says Prince of Storms.
good that you got that. Because this is, I mean, looking at how old it is, this was either made by either someone who's like the first follower of this god or the god themselves. So, shit, it's old.
Yeah, it is kind of cold.
You can't read that? Weird.
Not at
Where do
all.
you see
Getting
gold?
scolded?
Where's the gold?
Let's go inside.
Yeah, do what you're told.
And we start.
Yes, we should run and hide.
You start beelining towards the
temple,
the
yeah.
temple door.
Mm-hmm.
Does
And
anyone
there
want
is
to
a
look
little
for
bit.
traps?
There is a little bit of an awning as you guys kind of get under it. The entrance to the door is completely stone. It doesn't look like there's a lip or a line for a door anywhere, as the 5 of you are now covered by the awning of this. So you don't have to really shout, and you do get a little relief from the storm itself, despite the wind whipping you, but you're able to kind of see each other a little bit more, and all 5 of you are just soaked to the core.
Dremel shakes out like a dog.
I love adventure. Oh
I
my
knew
god.
it.
Well, this is nice.
Yeah, no, it's great.
I'm gonna start looking at the door to see if there's a way for me. I'm gonna kind of like give it a push and see if I can get in.
So you kind of put your hands to it and you start pushing. And it's at this point that a slit starts to form in the door itself, almost materializing as you kind of push it forward. Kind of around the door frame is adorned in more of that language altar that you see.
Still have no idea what this means, but fuck, it's old.
So old. Needs AARP. Probably washes like Jag on the weekends.
I mean, I'm old as shit in comparison to you guys, and this shit's way older than me.
Oh, you're old as fuck too.
That's what I'm saying.
Donner's saying while he's
You old-
gritting his teeth and
You
pushing.
old fuck.
And you push through as we get into the temple. The temple is fairly dark. And the minute that you guys come in, there is a wave of almost like a coppery smell when you enter it. And it's very heavy within the air.
I'm gonna pull my mace up and I'm gonna cast light on it.
As you kind of extend out, you do see that there are, I wouldn't say they're fresh, but there are smears of blood along the cave walls here, or the temple walls. Different kind of hands kind of struggling to either keep themselves upright, but there is splatter almost everywhere.
Well, that's not a great sign.
But it's not the worst sign.
There's worse signs in this?
Probably.
I don't know what they are, but there's worse.
I follow suit, by the way, and light up Lightbringer and hold it up as a torch as well.
And you see more of the same as well. You see more blood along the walls and of the floors. It's been there for a while, so it has scabbed over and coagulated, but it's not. It hasn't been there for years and years.
I'm gonna pull Thok to the front with me, and I'm gonna turn to Val, stay behind us, and then the other two stand behind her. Nothing can happen to Val. Make sure nothing gets to her.
And Dremel will recast Dancing Lights to light. I'll send, because I get 3, I'll send 1 up in front of Donner and Thok, and the other 2 will be behind with Alder and me, so we can see everything around us.
Okay.
Let's walk slowly and carefully, and see if we can. I don't know if it's tripped. It's been a long time since. I don't know if I've ever been here. Maybe I've heard stories. I don't. It's just one of those gaps I kind of have in my memory right now. But let's be careful.
Will do. And I'm going to turn around on my Val, do you trust me?
And she looks at you tentatively, and she puts her hand into yours.
Then I'm going to cup it real quick, and I'm going to cast Death Ward on her.
And you see another sheen kind of go over her, and she goes, "What was that?"
It'll make it harder for you to die. So,
Oh, comforting.
well, again, precautions. It
And
never hurts.
Thank you, Google. She kind of squeezes your hand and she goes, "Thank you." No, I appreciate it.
Donna's going to walk forward slowly, kind of studying the floor, just to see if there's tripwires, any kind of flooring that's out of place.
Go ahead and roll an investigation for me.
11.
11. So you're kind of looking for anything that's out of the ordinary. Eventually, you guys come to this main kind of chamber hallway, and you see that there was, I would say, almost like it's a gate that is adorned with different kind of runes, and on top of the gate, it looks like it's been crushed with or bludgeoned to break whatever seal there was there. However, as you kind of continue, it's still more of the same. It's more of that copper, pools of blood. Occasionally, you do find different kind of gore and matter in it. Hand streaks across the walls, and eventually the 4 or the 5 of you get to a temple rounding, as you see more of armor and gore and all of this kind of on the floor. And eventually the wind inside picks up as you slowly start hearing like a whirlwind almost, as an elemental appears before you of air. And eventually a two more come of lightning and of water, as I need the four of you to roll initiative for me.
Oh fuck.
Oh,
What have you done? Val still has, by the way, protection from energy if it hasn't been an hour.
Gotcha. Let me, because I didn't get a piece for Val, I'm going to use this, much to my chagrin.
Chagrin.
oh boy. Chagrin is the word of the day.
Can you
It
use
is.
that in a sentence?
Yeah.
Much to my
Justin said chagrin is the word of the day.
much to my chagrin.
What's initiative again? What is that? Wait.
It's been a while, huh?
About to find out.
Okay.
Wow.
Hey, Justin, you said that
Yeah,
it
bud.
was one air, one lightning, and one water.
Correct. It
All
is
right.
one of those three.
3 total.
Each. There's three. And we're gonna just mosey on over to my battle map.
Battle
Battle
map.
map. Battle map.
Battle map. Bow, bow.
Hold on. We got to keep going through. It's all the way at the end. Ignore the temple of opportunities. We're past that. I keep all of our maps, by the way,
Just in case.
just in case I ever need them.
Just in case we decide we want to go back to the succubus temple.
There's probably a reason to go back at some point, right?
Yeah.
Mostly oral 6.
The sucky.
Oh,
No, you're on the
Hey,
ship. You
Bandrin.
can get that wherever.
That's true.
hey, Bedrin.
Oh,
Whoa.
Ooh.
So go ahead and position yourselves.
no.
I'm gonna put Val between Falk and Donner, so wherever y'all are at. And then I need to roll for
So which
initiative.
direction are we going? Up?
Yes, you're going up.
Okay, so I would say side by side, are we?
Alder, move yourself. God.
I
He's
did.
not a god.
God. He could be. We don't know.
True.
That's actually the whole plot hook of this entire campaign is I am your god.
Oh,
How about that?
You're,
isn't that nice?
When Justin was surprised, that made me really believe it.
I'm glad we
Thank
had
you for
the
coming.
discussion, Mike.
Thank you for bringing me back to my temple. I'm disappointed in all of you. Bye.
You're all terrible. You certainly just turned into Gene Belcher. You're awful. You're all terrible.
Oh, there he is.
Sounds just like Bob.
Fun fact: I have a tattoo of Gene Belcher.
We know Beef Swatch.
Saying
Why
for
is
the
this-
people at home on the stream.
Hold on. Sorry, my keyboard's acting up. I'm just so excited.
Here, my myself.
Okay, so did anyone get a 20 or above? We always do so great at these guys.
Good.
You know how we do.
15 or higher.
18.
Okay. 10 or higher.
11.
Jesus
10.
Christ.
10.
Okay.
All right, let's play the game. Which elemental is Donna going to end up in belly first?
You
He's
probably.
going to be in the candy one, like the tummy elemental.
You should try
Candyman.
going up the butt instead of through the mouth this time. It might be different.
It's
Probably not.
You're like, it tastes weird. Why does it smell like ass?
Dremel, you probably have a higher dex than I do.
My dex.
I would assume so.
14.
Yeah, I have a +0, -10.
Okay, so let me roll for everyone. Sorry, keep everyone waiting. Okay, fuck. All right, this is going well for you guys.
Great.
I mean, it's the only way it usually goes for us, right? Is very well.
This map looks dope.
This is Gabriel Pickard, or Picard, whatever the hell his name is. Thanks, Gabe.
Hey,
Gabe. Great. So at the top of the round, it is the lightning elemental. So they are all large in size, so they do take up a 10 by 10 square. Just to let you know. So moving
And-
right along.
Real quick, these are walls, correct? Walls
Those
in
are
a
walls.
hallway.
Yep.
All right.
All right. All right.
All right. All right. All right.
So let's see here. They have. Oh, goddamn! I'm sorry, guys. So they don't walk; they float and fly. And just off the bat, we have 20, 25. Oh, that's not the full length, but they get there. Um.
Oh boy.
Oh boy!
Cool,
And
cool.
Thok, you are going to get multi-attacked there.
Yeah,
By
yeah.
light.
You're not wearing armor, right?
I'm not wearing armor.
Does a 17 hit?
Oh yeah, it hits.
Okay, hold on. I got another one.
Did you critical?
Does a 25 hit?
Yeah. Why not?
Okay, cool. Give me 1 second. I have to roll a lot more d8s than I expected.
Oh no. He's gonna kill our cleric.
Again.
Nay. Good thing you have another cleric there.
It's true.
You're not wrong.
I should have
A
definitely.
secret multi-class.
He's our only hope.
Hey,
I don't
he's
know
a
why I
god.
sound like Don Knotts, but I did. So you take 26 points of lightning damage
Okay.
as this lightning elemental completely just takes your shoulders and just pulses you with electricity. Exactly. That's the noise you make too. Hello. Okay. It is now Donner's turn.
Oh, great. I'm going to swing my mace of smiting at the giant lightning creature that is attacking my friend.
Hashtag lightning boy. Got it.
Hashtag lightning boy. That's a 25.
Let me see here. 25 will hit. Yes.
Cool. This is not going to be super exciting. That is 9 points of damage.
Okay.
And I'm going to swing again. Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Cool, thanks. That's a 14.
14 will not hit.
Cool. Then I'm done.
As you go, boom. It is now Val's turn. You see her unsheath this long selwood. And let me see here. She's behind you guys, isn't she?
She is.
Fuck, she'll have to move. Okay. Put this here. Sorry, this is a new weapon for me, so I need to get slightly used to it. Okay, so you actually see her, and she takes out this longsword, and she sees Meat Mountain that's in front of her, which is Thok and Donner with their rippling back muscles. And she looks over at Alder, with your right shoulder with her, and then back at Drummel, and she goes, "It's a little cramped, isn't it? Fucking," and you see her, and she takes out the longsword, and she concentrates, and you just hear a pop, and she's gone. As the next moment, she is behind and teleports behind the lightning elemental before choking up on her sword and striking with advantage.
That was kind of hot.
Guess we found your tab.
She got a minus.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. And she's going to two-hand. Great. And she does damage.
And things happened.
Things happen as this flash of like lightning gets struck with this cold steel as she kind of goes back down forward. And she goes, I'm a cleric of Talos. No, this is a good thing. Don't attack me and my friends. As it is now Alder's turn.
And I'll scream out to Val and be like, "Did you say that? Tell them not to attack us? Should I attack or no?"
Fucking attack them!
Okay. Boy, I'm gonna move to right here, so that way I can kind of have both what I'm assuming is the lightning and air elemental kind of in my line of sight.
Okay.
And I'm gonna take a magnifying glass out of my pouch, and put it in my hand and essentially aim it at both of them. And I'm going to cast. I am going to cast for the first time Sunbeam.
Ooh.
So you're going to start seeing essentially a blinding light come out, and both of them are going to need to make a Constitution save.
Okay. Con save. Let's see. I'm going to do the lightning one first. Okay, and then let me see here for the air. Let me see. The lightning did it. The air did not.
What did they roll?
One nat 20'd and the other one rolled a nat 6.
Okay, so essentially what it is, a 5-foot wide, 60-foot long, each creature must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, a creature takes 68 radiant damage and is blinded until your next turn. On a successful save, it takes half as much damage and isn't blinded. So that means the air elemental is currently blinded.
Okay.
And I'll go ahead and roll some damage here. So that's 28 radiant damage. So full amount for the air, half as much for so 14.
I found my old calculator from Strahd.
Not math class.
No, not math class. Fuck, I didn't graduate college. Tell you, dude.
Hey Donna, how much damage did you do to that thing earlier? 9?
9.
Okay.
My weapon is a D6 plus 6.
No, I'm just checking. I like to try and keep track.
Math.
I like to hit harder than that, but
Okay.
Here we are.
Anything else, Alder?
No, that will end my term. We're good to go.
It's going to be a green-blue round as Drem, you up first, baby.
All right. Seeing Alder do that sunbeam, I'm like, damn, that's a good idea. And I'd take a couple steps over here, and I'd do a moonbeam right here. So I'll draw that in a moment.
Okay.
Put it over Mac's face, and I'll moonbeam right there.
Nice.
That's very Bob Ross of
Very
you.
good.
Put it right there.
Just right
That'll
there.
be our little secret.
And
It's a happy moonbeam.
Little happy moonbeam.
happy little moonbeam. No mistakes.
There are no mistakes, just happy accidents. And I'm going to fry this motherfucker's face off.
And that'll be it for my first
God's
turn.
beautiful creatures. Okay. And then Thok, you're up.
So I just realized concentration, I think, might have dropped.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a concentration check for me.
I roll a 10 plus. What the hell's my con? Con save?
It's a con check. So as long as you make a DC 10, you're good.
Yeah. Well, I took 26 damage, so half would be 13.
Gotcha.
I actually got 13.
Okay.
So it stays up.
Yep.
Which it's not going to stay up for long. So getting hit by the lightning, I am first going to use my bonus action to rage.
Okay.
Get really mad.
And you see these red veins start to pump and pop from Thok's body as it gets slightly bigger. As he starts frothing at the mouth a little bit.
I'm going to grab the necrotic great sword and swing up to the lightning elemental that electrocuted me.
Okay.
Recklessly. Why not? Natural 20.
Oh,
That's
shit.
usually a good thing.
Yeah. God, this is the first time I've critted. Hold on. There's a lot of dice to this. So it's 2d6 for the great sword. Plus I roll an extra damage die for what's that shit called? Savage
Critical
Attacker.
critical?
No,
Savage Attacker.
half orcs, yeah, Savage Attacker. So plus a d8 for Divine Strike. Okay. So remind me again with crits, I have to reroll.
I usually
double
just
the
have you
dice.
double the dice.
Okay. Cool. Isn't that great? 6, 7, 8, 9. So the dice is 9. I rolled 1, 2s, and 3s. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 for being a barbarian.
So 18 plus 6, which is 24. Because you got dice.
So 18,
24.
18 plus 4 plus 6. So yeah, 18 plus 6, 24. That.
24.
And he has wounding. So at the beginning of his next turn, he'll take 1d4 necrotic damage and make a constitution saving throw. And if he fails, he will keep being wounded.
Just keep doing it. Okay. So it is now the air and water turn. Water is going to take notice of what is going on as being slightly more intelligent, and it is going to drag itself over to air as it slowly starts forming this water-air kind of Typhlosion elemental. As it then, because it is also the air's turn, starts dragging itself over to the lightning, which in turn is going to form.
They just digivolved, y'all.
I hate everything.
A nightmare. That's
Sorry,
what
I'm
it's
gonna delete your moonbeam, but you can put the moonbeam back in like
It's gonna
2
form a
seconds.
nightmare. That's
It's
what
gonna
like.
turn into a storm elemental with all 3 elements.
Would
Didn't
would
think
that
I'd have to.
would that
Mhm.
be considered a spell?
No.
Okay.
Is there such a thing of like fusion evolution? Because whatever it is, it just
Fusion?
happened.
It's kind of like
Ah,
someone pulled out a polymerization card.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So we now have a storm elemental, and it is actually the lightning elemental's turn. So it makes sense. Hold on, I gotta make it slightly bigger.
I was gonna say it
'cause
got real tiny.
it is not gonna be tiny. Hold on, I'm not gonna die. You'll be.
It's gonna get bigger.
I will
Just
never
give it-
die.
I had a panic because you guys were defeating both of my monsters very shortly.
Ah! Almost.
Hush.
I'm seeing
They
your
will have
change.
to save on the moonbeam. I'm pretty sure
What's that?
they will have to make a save on the moonbeam
I
since
don't
this is
know
the start of their turn.
why this isn't working.
Yeah. Once this one starts, yeah.
What layer are you on?
No, it's my my keyboard on my laptop is acting up.
Hashtag new keyboard for Justin.
It's not.
No. It's saying hashtag we need a new keyboard for Justin.
Using the work one. All right, hold on. Cancel. I'll just set it
Hashtag new
with the
job
click
for
and
Justin.
drag. No, I already have a new job.
There
we
it
go.
goes.
Bigger. Look how badass he looks. My little boy.
Hell yeah.
My little boy.
My little boo bear. So he's gonna use Storm's Fury. Little baby boy.
Why did I zoom in so much?
So I need all 5 of you actually, because Val, I deleted Val, but Val's there as well. Need you all to make a deck save.
Would,
Is this his turn?
It is his turn
Does he have wounding
to do the
still?
con.
I was about to ask for the moonbeam. Yeah. I know you
And
set him
wounding.
up one to the side, but I assume it would fuse right where the electrical one
Yes.
was before.
Yes.
Well, it's
Okay.
2 necrotic it takes.
Okay. What is the saving throw first for you, Josh? It's con.
Yeah. Con 16. 3, 1,
Okay, did not make it.
4, 6. 10 takes 10 points of damage.
And then you said it was how much stock for necrotic?
2.
2.
And it makes a con save of 15 to end all the wounding it has, which is right now just 1.
It did roll a natural 15.
Okay, then it makes it so no more wounding for now.
Okay. So I need all of you to make a deck save.
Modded 20.
Okay.
13.
Okay.
Go. 15.
Okay.
17.
Okay. So everyone but Donner makes it. So Donner, you're going to take 21 points of lightning damage, and you're actually going to be flung 20 feet away from your party.
Okay.
And you're
Bye.
going to be knocked prone. The rest of you, you take, let me see here.
Be 11 if it's half.
Hold on. Okay, that's if another one. If it doesn't give me on a save. So, yes, take half for me. So half of 21. So do 15.
11.
No, that's too
no.
high.
11.
That makes no sense.
11. Do 11. You know what? Now do 15. Do 11. You're fine.
No.
And this is lightning.
It is lightning. And then, Donner, you're going to be...
It's going to be a bad ball. You got to go in timeout.
You're going to be all the way back there, and it is actually your turn.
Sick. I am going to use half my movement to get up. I'm going to walk that 15 feet forward. Come on, fat fingers. 1, 2, 3. And because I'm out of range, I'm going to take my mace and slam it on the ground and cast a magic missile at it at 4th level.
Okay. Go ahead and give me that. Nothing is typing on my computer.
You can re-roll that. It's the same thing.
Do I have to press like an F button? Why the fuck aren't you working?
That's 8 points of force damage.
Okay. 8 points, force, got it.
And that's all I got.
Okay.
You know what? No, I'm going to burn my action surge. Move forward and take 2 swings with the mace now.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, that feels better. That's 29 to hit,
29 will hit.
and that's a 22 to hit.
Both will hit.
Ew.
That's 9. That's 10, so 19 points of damage with 2 big swings of the mace.
Okay. And you're able to hit with those items. Damn it. Sorry, I'm getting mad now.
We'll get you
You need
another
my-
keyboard.
I need my keyboard. I can't type anything. Okay. Now it is Val's turn. So I will have her. I know she's behind the thing.
Oh.
So she's going to do another.
Oh, wait. Did that mean I get to roll my attack with advantage?
Yes.
Fuck. It's fine.
Her protection from energy is still up, by the way.
Gotcha. So
I keep
she
forgetting.
rolled a 16, which will not make it. Okay. So you see her whiff with her sword as she kind of looks at you guys like, sorry. It is now Alder's turn.
Sunbeam is a concentration, so since I did get hit, I needed to run a concentration trick, correct? Even though I made the save?
Because you took damage.
Okay, cool. I rolled a 15, so so you guys would have noticed that his hands the entire time were basically glowing with essentially sunlight radiating from his hands. So he's going to go ahead and again kind of point up towards the head of the elemental and point another sunbeam strike directly at it. So yeah, another Constitution save for the elemental.
Okay. Con save. It got a natural 19.
So that's a success. So that is 3. 8 is 11. 9 points of radiant damage is what he'll take.
Okay, 9 points of radiant. Yay, it's
Yeah.
working again. Sorry. I really had to dick around with
Good for you, Alder.
with that. Okay, -9. Got it. Okay.
Fucking get it, brother.
And then it is now Dremel Thok turn. So Drem, you up first.
All right. So what's her face is right here, right? So everyone has.
Yes, Val is
advantage
behind.
already?
Yes.
All right. Then what I'm gonna do is take a couple steps up here. You know what? I'm gonna change what I was gonna do. So I can still attack him if I'm on this corner, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna move up to about here, And as I'm doing that, I'm gonna pantomime pulling little seeds or something out of a satchel, but it's just my hand. I'm gonna do that and just drop them behind me and cast
Okay.
mirror image. So now there are 3 versions of me. It's impossible to tell which one is the real one, and every time that I get attacked, I have to roll a d20 to see which it attacks, whether it attacks me or one of the doubles. Each double can take 1 hit before it disappears.
Okay.
3 of me.
Not yet.
Well, is it 3 of you or you and 3 others?
3 total. No, actually, you're right. It is me and 3 others. So 4 of me.
So many traps.
Someone's worst nightmare.
Or dream.
Nightmare.
And when this happens, like once all the illusions catch up to me, I want to use my bonus action to the storm to taunt it.
Mm-hmm.
And just say, "Come at me, storm boy!" But you hear 4 of them at the same time. But all at different pitches, so it's a beautiful chord.
Okay, roll a performance for me.
Okay. Do I have to roll
And then-
4 of them?
I did no, just 1. And then I did give you a
22.
control of all of the drummels.
Sweet. I got a 22.
They all synchronize, and they're able to say that at a very nice, pleasant pitch.
You're your own quartet.
No.
Win the Saints.
What are you doing else, Drum?
Oh, that's it. That ends my turn.
Okay, Thok, you're up.
I'm gonna take my great sword and swing at him again. Yeah, so I'm just gonna take the necrotic great sword, and I swash up first time, and now I'm gonna come back down with it recklessly.
Okay.
Not as good, but I'm still hoping it hits. 19.
Okay, a 19 will hit.
Okay. Let's... Ooh, way better. Why didn't I roll that last time? That's gonna be 17 slashing
Shit. Okay.
plus 5 radiant.
And 5. Got it.
And that'll be it.
Okay, let me
You know,
just see.
you know what I just realized?
What?
Not that
Directive?
no. Like, no, I did it on purpose. I know what you meant, but I can't concentrate on spells while raging, so her protection from energy does drop.
That is okay.
But it hasn't affected anything, so. But I wanted to be honest. Yeah, that's all I do. And then he takes wounding, so for the beginning of his next turn, he'll take necrotic.
Okay. So, the storm elemental is going to look behind, obviously see the 4 Dremels, and it is going to cast one of its spells, which is Chain Lightning.
Oh, fuck.
So I
Shit.
need Alder, Thok, and Dremel. I need you to roll your d20s. But I need you 3 to make dex saves.
16,
Which I have advantage on.
17. Also, he takes 17 points if he fails. So,
Oh, his con.
yeah.
So is he attacking someone? Is it a DC or is it an attack?
It is going to be a DC, so I
Okay.
do need you to make that saving throw. And he
You
did
said
fail.
dexterity?
Yes, and he did fail his Moonbeam con check. So
All
what damage is?
17.
Okay, minus 17. Got it.
And then you said roll a dex check?
Dex saving throw.
Dex save.
And he'll take 1 necrotic damage because I rolled a 1.
Okay, great.
So I need a 15 con check on him as well for wounding.
Okay.
Or con save, sorry.
Didn't make it as well, so it takes the 1.
So wounding
Yes.
stays.
Yes, it stays.
Okay.
All right. What'd you 3 get? So first, Drem, does it hit you?
I got 21. So does that hit? What are we checking? That
Well,
was the
what
dex
is your?
save, right?
You have your mirror image. So what's the D20 roll for your mirror image
Well,
to see
that's
if it hits you? Or...
No. So the way that it works is once I know that it hits me, then I roll another d20
Got
to like choose if I want to redirect it, which I don't have
Okay.
to.
So you're gonna take half damage, so you can divert. What did you get, Doc?
16.
16. You'll take half, and then what did you get, Alder?
15.
15 just makes it, so you'll take half as well. Let me see here. I do have to roll a lot of dice for it, though.
We're aware.
Also, so with mirror image, I was wrong. I do have to roll it.
Okay.
So it will not hit me.
Okay. And then I actually have to roll for Val as well because of the
If
level.
it doesn't hit you though, it destroys one of the duplicates, right?
Yep. So now I'm down to just 2 of them.
Gotcha.
Can I delete it? Or just hide them over here?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, you can just do that. That's fine.
Where
so,
is Val?
Val is in
She's
her area,
missing.
but she did take the full brunt of that, and oof, not good. Good thing she has Death Ward. So give me one moment, please.
I cannot see.
I didn't. I deleted her.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Imagine
then,
that she's
hold on.
directly across from Donner, right behind the elemental. That's where she's at. So
Got it.
And then one healing. So boop. And then you guys are going to take half of this. So I'm going to write down
Oh my
by
god.
2. So you guys each take 29 points of lightning damage.
Shit.
29 is half.
Yes. I rolled 57 points of lightning damage.
So did Val go down for a minute?
She went
and
down for a
popped back up?
second, and then you saw that death ward kind of shimmer, and she gets back up, and she's like, ow. As it is now Donner's turn.
I'm going to take the opportunity attack and run by it and go to pick Val up.
As you start running by it, the storm elemental completely ignores you.
Well, fuck you too then, I guess.
Good.
Bitch.
Bitch.
And I'm gonna pick her up.
And
And-
she is just smoldering at this point. She's just almost like a crisp.
I
didn't jump fast enough.
No, I noticed you did.
Ow.
It's fine. Hold on, please. I didn't expect to have to not use my smashy thing on this shit. And I'm gonna cast.
Concentrate on the smashy thing. I'm a cleric. I can heal myself.
I'm gonna still use. She's gonna get 12 points of healing.
Okay. I'll put that up. And heal. Okay.
So did you move?
Yeah, where'd you move?
So I'm back here now.
So you're like shoulder to shoulder almost with Drem.
Yeah, just about.
The Drem.
So I'm over there, and I've got her in my arms, and I'm shielding her from whatever's behind me, the giant, scary lightning thing. And that's all I can do.
Okay. So it is now her turn. And she is going to yell, "Cover your ears." And that's to all of you, which I'll give you the free action to do so. She is going to cast Shatter as you all hear this very loud, high-pitched ringing noise. Okay, that's 1, 2. And then it's just a con save for the storm elemental. And let me see here. That is, they rolled a 14, and her save is 14. Shit. That's okay. Let me see here. Half damage on a success. So that is still 4d8 of thunder damage. It just, it's going to be half of that. Okay. Not the best, but it's there. And now it is Alder's turn.
And I'm gonna be like, do we notice if it's looks like the storm is weakening or?
It's flickering a little bit, but it's still going, man.
Gotcha. Well, no, I'm just trying to get an idea. I've never run into an elemental before, not like this at least. So again, I'm gonna angle my sunbeam and make another beam of light directly aiming for its eyes. Still keeping my Oh shit! I need to do my concentration save. That would be a 12. Would that be a success?
For a con, yes.
Okay.
Because it's 10 to concentrate.
Gotcha. Cool. Sorry, still learning casting. Then yeah, it'll be a Constitution save for Stormy McStormface.
Official name.
Yeah, TM.
Okay. And then anything else?
Yeah. What's a save?
Sorry, I didn't roll it. It is natural 12.
Then that is no modifier.
No modifier.
Then that is a failure. So that means he will be blinded until my next turn, and take 6, 16, 16, 24 points of radiant damage.
Okay. 24.
And he is now blind.
Okay. 4. And then it is now Dremel and Doc.
All right. Well, Donner's got Val pretty much taken care of, it seems. So I will see. Do I get advantage with spells, or is it only physical hits?
It's only physical hits.
Physical. All right. Then I'll stay where I'm at, and actually, I'm gonna move up a little bit. Grab these guys too. Oh, why are there that many? Well,
You
whatever.
probably copied one extra one. Just delete one.
No, I'm a god. So I'm just gonna cast what's it called? Chill Touch. So instead of my normal taking what looks like a little bit of my soul, I'm gonna reach over to the side and grab one of my what would be one of my
Dremel souls.
yeah, but they all do the exact same thing. So it just looks like we have a circle jerk going on where we grab each other, pull out a little bit of energy, and just send that circle jerk energy right over to that big old jerk.
Okay.
Do you guys have JL crystals? You have JL crystals?
Oh, of course we got JL.
You have to charge them, though.
Nice. You got to charge them up.
Good old.
Go ahead and roll that for me.
All right, that's 2. That's 7. 7 plus 6, 13. Oh wait, no, that's the wrong thing to roll. Does 19 hit?
19 does hit.
All right, then it's 13 points of damage. I'm not drunk. You're drunk.
It's okay.
I'm not. I didn't even. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not as
Fuck.
think as you drunk I am.
Oh no. Doc, you're up.
Oh no.
Okay. I am going to move, y'all. And seeing that Donner has Val, I'm going to focus on the monster. And I'm going to swing again with the great sword, which will be another natural 20.
Good.
Oh god, so many. Okay. So, and then I have that extra dice as well. Where are you? We'll make you it. So that'll be 1, 2, 7 slashing times 2 is 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So 20 slashing and 16 radiant. So 36 total.
36.
36. It is flickering. It is not doing so hot, and the storm is getting smaller and smaller. I'll actually make it tinier than it is. And as the 4 of you and the 5 of you are starting to gang up on this very tiny now storm, there comes a booming voice from this area. Now, what languages do you all speak? Because I have a feeling I only know one of you is going to understand what's going on.
Common, Elvish,
I
Giant, and
speak-
Dwarf.
Druidic, Elvish, and Sylvan.
Mm-hmm.
Common, Dwarvish, Orc, Primordial.
Old language and
Old language, primordial, Sylvan, and celestial,
okay,
and common.
and
Obviously.
common. So the only one who understands this is Dremel because it's in Giant. As you hear, that's enough. Come to finish the job then. As you see a massive hand reach over from another side of the hallway. As holding its side, you see these eyes of just pure storm as a 21-foot storm giant stands up, clutching its side. And then the storm giant looks very confused as it slowly cocks its head. And he looks over at his elemental, and he looks slightly sad as, once again, Dremel, you're the only one that can understand it. And he goes, "What's all this? I won't tell you where it is."
It attacked us.
Well, I wasn't expecting company. You tell your boss. I didn't tell him where it was the first time. I'm not going to tell you guys again.
Look, I don't know what you're talking about, but also, you're a very bad host. You don't attack your guests, even if you don't know who they are.
And so you see Dremel is arguing in Giant with this giant. Go ahead, everyone, roll a perception check for me. As we're going to exit initiative.
16.
Okay, what else?
Modded 20.
Okay.
Me as well, or no?
Yeah. Drem, you too.
27.
27, and what'd you get, Drem?
You said perception?
Yeah.
I believe that's an 18.
Okay. I mean, he's fairly large, so all of you can kind of pick up on it. You do see he is clutching the left side of his ribs, and you do see that there is he's kind of sporting this almost like what gladiators would wear outside of, armor. So it's kind of like these short tunics, sandals that kind of ride all the way up to his calves. And you see that there's a giant crimson stain where he's clutching where his ribs are. And you do see beads of sweat kind of just dropping.
I'm gonna go over to him, and I'm gonna tug on the sandal. Obviously, I'm very small.
Yes, you are very small. As he looks down.
I'm gonna, kind of gesture for him to pick me up. I'm just gonna go like this.
And he's going to look over at you, Dremel, very confused. And he goes, "What's this one doing?"
Man, I wish I knew. Hey, Donner, you might want to let me do it, the one who can actually talk to him.
Drim, just tell him to pick me up.
He wants you to pick him up.
And he looks down and he goes, "If he tries anything, I'll split him in half. Tell him that."
He says if you try anything, he will murder you.
It seems right.
And you see him, and with his good arm, he kind of puts his hand down, and he's able to wrap, almost like he's picking up a toddler. And he's able to kind of scoop you up.
I'm going to pull out 2 of my potions of healing, and I'm going to show them to him, and I'm going to kind of gesture.
And he goes,
And I'll uncork them because I figure his hands are probably too big.
"They are very big."
Yeah, so I'm going to uncork them and just kind of hold them out.
And he looks back over at you, Drum. "What's this then?"
Let me see. Pick me up.
And he looks over at you.
Never mind. I'll climb. And using my prowess of being a mountain big brain boy, I'm gonna climb up the side of him so that I can be up next to Donner.
Okay. And he once again looks very confused.
Okay. Hey, those are potions of healing. So looks like he's trying to help you out. I don't know why he's not letting me do the talking, but yeah.
What are the things here for? 5.
Donner, he wants to know what we're here for.
Oh, um, first, tell him to drink these. It's gonna help at least a little bit.
Donner first wants you to drink these. They're safe, and I'll take a tiny swig of one, just enough to show that it's safe, and then like put it up to his mouth since both of his hands are occupied.
And you're able to, he allows you to pour into his mouth. It's like kind of filling a large tub of, with 2 small potions as he.
9. So he gets 17 points of healing.
And you see him and he kind of crooks back up and he moves his hand and you actually see some of the coagulated blood like stick with his hand and onto the cloak. And you see that there are several, it looks like blade wounds that are under the ribs that they were kind of smartly placed as they slowly some of them start to close up and stop bleeding. Thanks. These have been bleeding for quite a bit.
He said, "Thank you. It's been bleeding for how does it quite a bit."
Oh, well, I'm happy to help.
Happy to help.
I'd like to sit down now.
Oh, he's gonna sit down, so we might want to go.
Oh, okay.
And he kind of lets the 2 of you down, and the 5 of you just hear a poof as he kind of just sits and puts his back to the wall, still having those beads of sweat, looking a little paler as he's going. So, why are you here?
Why are we here? He's still talking to Giant, right?
Does he speak?
He is still talking.
Ask him if he speaks anything other than giant.
Hey, do you speak anything but Giant?
I speak the old tongue, and a little common.
He speaks the old tongue, and some common.
I'm gonna look at him and speak super old language at his face. I'm here looking for some answers. This is a place I've been before, and I'm hoping that you can direct us. I'm not here to mean any harm. If anything, we can help you a little bit. You seem to be a little worse for wear.
You speak very well in the old tongue. You said you've been here before.
I'll look over at Thok and I'll be like, can we do, and Val, I'll be like, can we do something about this?
No. And he looks at you and he gestures. He goes, I've been here guarding for 500 years. I haven't seen you. I'd remember.
Since Donner asked, I look at him like, yeah, I have a couple things that I can.
Just try and help him. And I'm gonna turn back and look at him. I've been here before. I can't explain it. This young lady, and I'll gesture over to Val.
Yeah.
Speaks to Talos. And he wanted us to be here. He told her that I would come back here.
She spoke to spoke to him.
Yeah. And he spoke back to her.
Talos hasn't been heard from for the past 200 years.
And yet she speaks to him. I wouldn't lie to you, Giant.
It's Osfeet. And he kind of moves his hand over again as Thok and Val start getting to work on his ribs.
It's gonna be a lot. I grab my holy symbol and I close my eyes and I focus on the giant and use my channel divinity to preserve life.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as it's under half, I'll give him all 50 HP.
Okay. With the 50, and as you concentrate on your symbol, the max you're only able to give him is 25.
Okay.
Okay.
Would I be able to distribute the rest to anybody else, like to Val, or
The max of
because I
25 you
focused?
could distribute.
Oh, okay.
So it won't be a max of 50. It'll be half of that, unfortunately.
No, you're fine. I'll give him all 25.
And you see him and and he spits, and you actually see like a wad of blood kind of come as he coughs and and he pants a little bit and he goes, "You're here for answers. I'm afraid I don't know if I can answer everything for you."
There's an artifact here we're looking for.
And he looks at you kind of knowingly and he goes, "The other came looking for it."
Who were they?
And he looks down at his side and he goes, "The one who gave me this spoke the old tongue too.
Does he have a name?
Gave me one. I haven't heard it before.
What was it?
Enya."
Enya? Not Anya, Enya.
And no, he seems a wee bit mad.
Would I recognize that name at all?
You do not.
Okay. We are not here to disturb. We're not here to fight you or your storm. We're just here to get some answers. I have family that I'm missing.
Your family. And you think you can find them here?
Maybe answers or leads to where they might be.
And he looks over at Val and he goes, "Speaks to Talos, yeah?"
I give you my word.
And he slowly kind of gets up and he is just towers over you. His head almost hits the ceiling. "If you praise to Talos, I can get you close to the axe, maybe. She could pray towards it. Maybe we can get a pinpoint on him. I'm sure his father would want to know where he is. Follow me." As he kind of struggles over to the side.
And I'll go after and I'll gesture to everyone else to follow. He's taking us to the artifact we came here for. And I'll look at Val, be like, get ready to talk to Talos, or at least try.
And she kind of nods at you, looks a little nervous, a little apprehensive.
I follow, and as I walk by Val, I touch her and cast Cure Wounds. She's looking like shit.
She's looking a little rough for wear, but she's able to walk. She's not like at death's door as she was before.
I'll do it at 3rd level.
Okay. So, the 5 of you, and you can just message me the healing if you'd like. The 5 of you go down these long hallways of more blood, and you see that there are the prints that you see dragging along are actually the print to Osfit, as he's been trying to carry himself and walk through the hallways to protect it. As he shuffles slower and slower, he eventually brings you to this empty room that he goes into the middle of, and he actually takes some of the blood on his hand and he starts drawing symbols on it in this bare room. You see the blood start to shimmer and crackle as it's almost like there's a lock that's been unhooked as you hear a click as this stairway opens underneath the floors that spirals down from the center point of where Ostriv is, or Osfit, sorry. And he goes, "All right, follow me," as he starts leaning onto the side of the wall as he starts bringing you down into this cavern.
I'll follow. I'll follow him down.
You're hit with must and dirt and grime. It seems that this section of the temple hasn't been open for quite some time. As eventually you get to, it almost looks like it's a dusty trophy room. There are different kinds of barrels and cups and shields and swords all rusted over, and wedged at this, almost like it's an altar, is this massive two-handed great axe that is just pristinely just kind of put in there. This fine kind of dust over it. As Osvit kind of goes to the side as the five of you enter the room, and he sits on one of the stairs. And he gestures and he goes, "Is there? If she wants to try to touch it and concentrate, speak to Talos." And Val kind of looks at you and goes, I think this is what he might have wanted.
I mean, you can try.
And she kind of looks over and goes to the axe, and she puts her hands on it and she starts to try to pull it out. And you hear her struggle, and she goes, "I can't move it. It's stuck in there. If I could get it out, maybe I can attune to it."
And I'll stand up and I'll walk over to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll place one hand on it.
Okay.
And then a second, and start to pull.
As you start to pull, you kind of start feeling and hearing this hum, all five of you. As the lights that are in here, they have different kind of magical sconces that shine and glimmer, that slowly kind of come down as you hear this. And Donna, you're able to, as if it weighs nothing, you're able to pick up this great axe. Now, as the light flickers among the room, you start seeing these very dull images that start populating the area of this very dead temple. There's a heavy mist that fills the room as all of you kind of come to the sides and put your backs to the walls. And in doing so, and in the fog amongst Donna and Val, you see three extra figures, and it seems that they're in conversation. The one that's closest to the axe and closest to Donna and Val is the first figure to focus. It's almost like someone is taking a lens and focusing in. This man is very tall. He's very lean. He is adorned in a green leather armor embedded with silver trim and sapphire jewels. And he has greasy, slicked back hair that reaches the nape of his neck. And he has these icy blue eyes that pierce past the rest of you as he speaks. His hands are waving about as he's doing an arcane motion. And it seems to be that he is beginning a recording spell. And he begins speaking in a language you all understand, mid-sentence. And he goes, "Cry, baby. You know you're being ridiculous. Brother, tell him he's being ridiculous." And the thin man's eyes scan across the room, and the recording follows his eyesight as one of the other figures comes into focus in the haze, very far end. The young man is very familiar looking. He has a very stocky build, one would find in a gladiator, and his hair is trimmed short to his scalp. He has very blonde hair as well. His armor is adorned in amethyst purples and silver trim, and he has very handsome features that are adorned with scars and cuts on his face. It looks like his nose has been broken a few times and replaced. But it gives him this kind of wisdom and charm with it. And he's seated on the far end of the room with a large cask next to him and a frothing mug that he was just putting to his lips as green eyes dart back to the thin man. Like, I mean, can you blame him for throwing a tantrum? The thin man looks flustered as the green arcane magic swirls and covers his hands and forearms. He begins to walk to the gladiator who's already has his mugs to his lips. "I am recording this to show him how ridiculous he's being. When he comes back for a stupid axe, he'll see how much of a child he's being. It'll be an all-tongue, so whichever beast and wench he brings back here should be able to see how much of a child he's being, whether it be a female or a minotaur." And the gladiator goes, "Right, he's allowed to be frustrated, little brother. Oi, you want to say something for the record?" And as the gladiator looks to his left, the recording expands and refocuses on the third figure. He looks very similar to the gladiator, though his hair is long and feathered and pulled back, and he's covered in what seems to be blood and dirt. He's adorned in red leather half armor, exposing his arms, adorned with that same familiar silver trim. He's hunched over, and as he stands up, you can hear his vertebrae pop when he straightens his spine. With his back towards you, a familiar, warm voice fills the room as the prince goes to his gladiator brother.
First off,
the prince turns, and the party is greeted with a younger Donner. His face is younger, no more than 20-something, with stubble in place of what would later be a magnificent beard. He has a smirk on his face.
I have never lie with beast and would never bring a beast here.
Donner's twin brother belches as he tries to scoffle a cough.
That was once, and the woman that can turn me to stone was looking at me, and it sounds ideal, but is in fact quite scary. I was afraid my cock would be heavier than a mountain. By the way, getting married, the only person I'll be embarrassing myself in front of is my wife. Secondly, we've made it through the entire challenge of the cave alive, and my axe did nearly nothing. Third,
Donner looks to find the words to tell off the thin man, but struggles.
Fuck you.
Donner and his twin laugh as Donner grabs a mug clipped to his hip and dunks it in the cast. The thin man rolls his eyes as he saunters over to the cast, procuring a glass out of thin air. Always had a lovely way with words, brother of mine. Besides, as with your upcoming nuptials, I'm almost definitely certain father has something being made for you, although it may be a bit shorter than to your liking.
And what did you do, Silver Tongue? Did you turn my lady's brother into a frog like you did me when we were kids?
The twins finish their drinks as he dips it in again in the cask, followed by the thin man doing the same. Well, I would to propose a toast, brothers. Final challenge will soon be upon us, and this may be the last time we're all together. One of us could die in glory. Only one of us can be the God Slayer. Brother, you can use my ex. Your wedding to the dear lady won't be until after. Donner finishes his glass and dunks it in the cask for the toast, belching.
You're not going to tell me you love me, are you?
The twin smiles. Of course not. I'm going to say I love both of you. It's the best brothers a man could have. The twin glances at the thin man. Wow, you're all right. You want to do the honors? The twin smirks and winks at the thin man, who cracks a smile. Thin man raises his frothing glass. I approach a toast to us mighty three. I, the most clever brother, that I was able to get out of a deal with the devil. I could sell ice to a frost giant, the keeper of stories, the colossal...
For fuck's sake, Loki, we only have this century.
The thin man stops, looking mildly annoyed. He turns to the twin with his raised glass. To the calm brother, whose wisdom and perseverance go beyond in years. I'll buy it a few hundred to learn hydras grew their new heads when you cut them. The bringer of thunder, Talos. The twin Talos smiles and speaks earnestly. To be fair, I thought, I fell asleep a lot during Father's lectures, and I thought it was like a fire lizard, so I thought the head would not grow back. The thin man finally moves to his body and faces Donner, whose chin is up, a stupid grin on his face. And finally, the most passionate brother, the one who could look Surtur himself in the eye and wink, with a thirst unquenchable by neither flesh nor drink, the man who controls the rain and the living storm, Thor.
You're getting mushy on us, Loki.
Your companion puts his arm on the shoulder of his thinner brother and smiles.
Fuck it. I don't care who wins. We're a force to be reckoned with to the Odinsons. May the gods quiver in our wake. And also to Helm. I'm sorry for marrying your sister. Sif. We're still best friends, mate.
The three brothers raise their glasses and clink as the twins chug, and the thinner brother tosses the drink over his shoulder. He looks at both of the twins and sighs and smiles warmly before waving his hands and ends the recording. As you see Donner in the wake holding his axe, looking much older than he did before in his recording, and Val looking on at him with very unbelieved eyes as Osvit kind of stands up looking confused as the four of you are in the room.
I remember now. Or at least some.
You son of a bitch.
That was cool. Make it do it again.
Dremel takes a knee and rests his forearm on his upper knee and does like a little bow.
Val, taking note of this, immediately does that as well.
No, wait. There's something we're not addressing here.
Do I have any recollection with religion knowing?
You can make a religion check.
Nope, that's a 9.
No. You're like,
I
know who Helm is.
I was like, why is he bowing and why is she what?
And I'm right there with Thok, just like, I got no idea what those words meant.
And
A lot
Cal
happened.
looks up at you and goes, "You're Thor?"
Yeah, Donna's the name I used when I would come to Earth, and I'd need to be the God Slayer. It was my job. It was a family job to go and beat down minor deities, wannabe gods before they could ascend into a godly plane.
So like, is he an alien?
Am I a what?
An alien? Like I'm just like
I'm
Thok
not-
is just thinking to himself, like I don't understand.
And Manu's like, you see him, and he's next to you. He's like, he's literally the god of storm and thunder. He's the brother of Talos. Did you not watch any of that?
I did, but there was a lot happening right
He's-
there.
You've been traveling with the fucking god this whole time, and you didn't even know you were traveling with a fucking god, you idiot.
Fuck.
Did you know?
That's
No, I'm not traveling with him.
That's part of the problem. Remember when I said my people were dying? My people are gods. And I'll look at Thok. When was the last time you spoke to yours? And I'll turn to look at Dremel. When was the last time you spoke to yours?
Oh.
And I'll look at Val very concerned. When was the last time you spoke to yours?
And that's where we're ended.
Oh wait.
Oh,
Motherfucker.
fuck.
You
So, Dice Daddy not being here, we're going to drop my playlist tomorrow. I will make that public for everyone to be able to see, and I'll send it to Mike. Guys, thank you so much for watching this most recent episode of Dungeons and Dragons and Junk Drawer. We will be back next week with an all-new episode. Josh, would you like to yell out some names in the chitty chat?
Hell yeah, dog. Thank you to another TV viewer, Atten, Commander Root, Electrical Longboard, Gandalf the Babe, Let's Do This _ streamers, Lurks, Princess League, and Riothskus, something like that. And also, shout out to Trill's Builds, which is a guy I played with about a week ago. He followed us. He also does some streaming. Check him out.
Awesome. Well, thank you, guys. We'll be back next week. Have a good one, and we'll see you next time.
Deuces.